Water. I has water. Okay. I messed up again. There it goes. Okay, make that small. Now let's see if I can also bring in... okay. Okay. Gonna do a little bit of tweaking here because I kind of want to have this, but I also want to have... Hey, Nat, how are you doing? How are you? How are you? I am on the wrong screen, clearly. There we go. Wow, can I brain or what? Sorry, you guys don't need to see me fiddling around with all that stuff. Let me just tweaky tweak. Yes, I am so excited for this. I have been waiting since she launched to be able to watch her land. I am so excited. Alright, so I'm going to pop this up here, and then I'm going to take this and kind of scoot it here. And then we're going to copy paste, move it down, and this is going to be, where did it go? There. Okay, so this... Nope, I hit the wrong button. There we go. That one. Did I break it? I might have broken it. I broke it. I broke it. Well, where's my webcam now? Excuse me while we have some technical difficulties here. That was loud. That was obnoxiously loud. There it is. You can hop in here. I had this all set up and then I accidentally like deleted it. So now I face the consequences of my actions. Can I move this over? What's brain? I don't know. What's brain? Nope. Why can you not select the whole thing here? Alright. Oh, for crying out loud, dude. What are you doing, brain? My brain clearly is not doing anything correctly. Alright, so we're gonna do this. And it's gonna look weird, and I'm okay with that. I know it's gonna be a little bit weird. Because it's just, it is what it's gonna be. Can I take this? And hop that in there. This should be in front of this. Right there. Yeah. Okay. You got more Lego magazines the other day because you had a mini build for the Apollo 11. The other had a mini rover. Oh my gosh, a mini rover! I love that. I love it. I love it. I guess I can turn them on. They're talking. They're chit-chatting over here on this other screen that I'm trying to get set up. Put this here. We're gonna... I can't button. This is what happens when you accidentally delete the scene that you had already prepared for this whole thing. You have to go and fix it. So remove this over. So how is your day going? Going good? We're gonna hop me over here. Pop this over here. Do this. This and this. And then this. In here. Okay. Okay. How's this? I don't know how clear this is. So we've got I've got a couple things I can pull up. I'm probably going to alternate between... Let's make it big. Yeah. Probably going to alternate between this and the clean feed, because I prefer to watch the clean feed myself. But we've got options here, is what I'm saying. Hey, hey! Hi, Calliope. Hi, Chris. Don't know what's going on. What's going on here? Don't quite know what's going on with your pain, though it's never been quite bad. Oh my gosh, that's not good. I just had lunch. Okay, I'm putting my chips out. I'm not gonna take my chips downstairs because Mars. What NASA thing? What NASA thing? What you talking about? Alright, so I don't need this camera. It can, oh god, it can get stuck on my other webcam. That's great. Here we go. Because what I'm gonna do is we're gonna scoot here. You guys are gonna have to forgive my face. I had a new like face cleanser thing, and it made me all red. It was lovely. I'm also trying to do a Russian join in my yarn because I need a new skein. So let's see.
We have a confirmation from each of the different orbiters and all of their support equipment on the ground that they are ready and are on track to support the relay from Perseverance.
Why are the subtitles not more obvious?
And we just heard that communications readiness poll, which means we are ready to relay the data Perseverance will send to get a better idea of what the rover looks like as it approaches Mars. We have a NASA program called EYES. The visualization lets anyone watching track Perseverance. Here's how the program works.
Follow Perseverance on its journey to the surface of the red planet with eyes on the solar system.
There.
From your desktop or mobile device.
I did see your new pop figure. I thought I reacted to it. I think I gave it. Did I give it a starry eyes?
In real time, through every step.
Darn this Russian join.
Entry,
Oh, I was gonna put my ears on. That's what I was gonna do.
This interactive experience lets you ride along from whatever perspective you choose. Click and drag, scroll in, scroll out,
There we go.
Check out the
That
descriptions
might make it a
and
little easier on you
explanations
guys.
to increase your
Huntress, hey, hey! Spacey things indeed. They said like an hour and a half until it starts. I was stupid excited about this. I told Nat a minute ago, I was like, I have been waiting for this. That's really loud in my ears. I have been waiting for this for, well, since they launched her. Since they started talking about Perseverance. I'm also doing a Russian join, so I'm going to be fighting with it. Oh, interestingly, yes, she's at Mars. She's landing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Also, funny story. We need 1 subscriber point to get another emote. I don't know how that works. I'm not sure how subscriber points work, but I was looking at that and apparently we only need 1 more. It takes 11 minutes.
You are watching
You need
live
6.
Mars
6
landing
what?
Commentary. Stepping outside mission control to talk to us is Perseverance system engineer Matt Smith.
Oh, 6 points. Oh my god, my brain. I'm sorry. I've got a little bit of a headache that I've been working through. I'm blaming it on that new face stuff that I used because it was slightly scented.
Sure, definitely.
So in addition to making me this
one thing we
lovely
hear a lot
patchy
about is
red,
telemetry. So telemetry is just our way of
it
talking
gave me a
about data
headache.
that's coming from the spacecraft and telling us important things
So you need
like
6 subs.
temperatures on
That's
the
not
vehicle,
that's not
pressure,
bad.
How much fuel we have left, and other
Yeah, I
things
blame
we
that
need to
tier 5
understand for, the health and safety of the vehicle. You'll also hear the word
Hype
nominal,
train last
hopefully.
night
Nominal means
for getting us
everything is
there.
expected,
Hot
everything
damn.
is okay. We're good to go. You'll hear also a lot about
The Russian join's kind of a pain in the
velocity
butt.
and deceleration. So velocity
Your
is just our
service man's
speed
manager,
combined with
excuse
the
me.
direction we're going, and deceleration is our slowing velocity. So we're coming in at over 12,000
Has
miles
the
per hour, and we're going to slow
same
down
issues found out
to
it was
a
the
nice,
the
comfortable 2
beard
miles
stuff.
per
Yep.
hour at landing. And that's our
And it can be a ding.
speaking of landing,
It can be a
you may
ding.
hear a couple of
Nat!
terms
Oh my god!
at landing itself. One
Thank you
is
for that
RINI
tier 1
stable.
gift sub
So
to
RINI
Miss
is a device
Messy.
on the rover that measures the rover's
Oh my gosh,
orientation and
thank
whether
you
it's
so
moving.
much.
So we want a nice stable landing spot without
I
any
can't
motion.
do anything because I'm doing
You'll
this.
also
I'm
hear
doing this Russian join.
UHF
I can't
stable,
let go.
hopefully.
Wait a second. Maybe I can
UHF
brace it.
stable
Okay.
refers to good
I have it braced
telecommunications link
with my
the
hand.
rover, and indicates that we've had a good
Let me pull this
separation
over here.
between the descent stage and the rover
Pop it
after the
out.
sky crane maneuver.
Move it over here
Finally,
so we
you
can
may
watch
also
this.
hear
Jeez
Tango Delta
Louise,
nominal,
computer.
or touchdown nominal. That means we've touched down on the surface of
Let's
Mars
see. Let's
within
see.
expected, range of safe
Here we
landing
go.
speeds.
No, we don't. I clicked on the wrong button. I can't tell you. 1 second.
This is your
Correct
first
button.
Mars mission.
Nat.
What did you learn from the
Oh my
experience?
god.
Yeah, one of my
Yeah,
takeaways is that
Nat,
can
you
almost never be
Nat, you
careful
just
when it comes to
unlocked
Mars.
another.
You can't
Damn
take
it.
Mars for granted.
You
You
unlocked
always
another
have to
emote
double-check
slot.
and triple-check
Now I have to
everything
draw another
on the way
thing.
to Mars, and,
Oh my
you
gosh.
know, even though we've done this once before,
Are you up, Bob?
using the sky crane technique on the Curiosity rover, you know,
I thought I
think
heard a
everyone's gonna
door
have
squeak.
their, everyone's gonna hold their breath until we're on the
My house
surface
might
of
be
Mars this
haunted.
time around.
Hey, how are you?
And we have a social
Yes, it
media
is indeed
question coming
afternoon
in.
currently.
Lower the door on Instagram
Draw more
asks,
emotes. I know. I've got my
complicated
notebook
is the
over here.
automated landing sequence, and
Um,
who wrote the code?
Yeah, it's quite complicated. The
Let's see.
automated
I'm gonna turn
landing,
them down just a little
software
bit.
needs to do literally hundreds of things,
Little
all on
little
its
bit.
own, just right with
There we go.
sub-second timing accuracy.
Yay! How are you
It's a
doing
result of
tonight? After
many
the
hundreds
day,
of
I'm so used to streaming at night that I always say that
went back
tonight.
to Curiosity and then, improved for
It took me like
translanding
3
at
months
Jezero Crater.
of being on day shift to stop saying how are you doing? How how are you tonight?
Now, landing on Mars is hard. Landing
Well,
on
it's
during a
Mars.
pandemic is even harder. The team behind the Perseverance rover faced
I'm doing
one
a
of the
Russian
biggest
join, so I'm
challenges when
kind of
the coronavirus pandemic struck.
excuse me while I
Here's
focus on a
Monica
needle.
Shingoey.
I kind of want to turn this a little bit more towards me. Maybe if I just turn water. Maybe if I just turn the monitor.
When the pandemic struck, the future was just like walking into a blind
Joe,
didn't know what was there, what was
thank you so much for the follow. Hi, how are you doing today? I'm fighting with. There it goes. Okay, there we go. I'm making a mess of my desk. You want an eek emote? Well, I have a whole new emote slot that I need to do something with.
first priority immediately
So we're gonna do a like a
safety of the people. And it took a lot of work.
a love glomp something emote and an eek emote. Maybe an eek emote's the first one I put my face on? I don't know. I think my face is a little bit weird for emotes. Like, I don't like pictures of myself, so
keep the team as safe or safer.
I just want to bunch up a little bit more yarn on this needle so that I can connect these two skeins.
Going to Mars.
Well, really, they're mini skeins. They're like an ounce of yarn.
No matter what. Trying to do it during the middle of a pandemic, it's a lot harder.
Look at it! There she... I sat watching this. I might have cried, you guys. I might have cried. Look at her go! Look at her go! Oh my god, I love the rovers. I follow all of the rovers on Twitter.
There's no doubt that working in
Adam Steltzner.
isolation, but in
Yes, loaf. We loaf you. You're here to annoy Nat.
We think in
Well, thank you, Nat. I loaf you too.
operate a spacecraft.
I loaf you too. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Be in the same room in mission
Um,
control, seeing the data come down
Heard that.
from Perseverance.
Lately, you really want an eek one. I should get the bean to make an eek one, but nobody...
Because of the pandemic, you can't
Her face is so good at it.
just pop over your cubicle wall and talk to the person next to you.
It's definitely been a challenge to figure out how to communicate
Okay, the Russian join is so worth it,
remotely,
but it's such a pain in the butt.
we are explorers. Our job is
So what I'm doing is I'm basically taking my needle
this is just
and I'm threading this string of yarn back through itself.
Transformative.
I think I've got enough bunches. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see those bunches on that needle. So this tail is actually this here. So this
Incredible
is
mission,
this.
this wonderful
And I looped it around this other skein, the middle one. So now I'm going to sew it back into itself so it becomes one, so it joins up. YouTube it if you want to know how to do it. I'm not good at explaining it. I can just do it, and maybe not very well.
it's an amazing serendipity.
So I've pulled it through,
Persevere
sort of, kind of, maybe.
on perseverance.
Sort of, nope. There we go. Pop my needle out. Oh, a Martian day is about 40 minutes longer than a day on the Earth. That's not that bad. Do they have to have a leap, or do they have to have leap year and, you know, daylight savings? Nobody likes daylight savings. I like daylight savings.
Matt Wallace.
I don't think I've met anybody else that likes daylight savings.
Is this mission?
Snip. Oh, that's always really stressful. I have actually been known to snip the wrong skein. So now we're connected. It's a little fluffy, but I'm okay with that. Because, I mean, it's... So we're working on it. Oh, I guess I should do the pattern. Let's do that. If you're interested, this is what we're making. It's the Irish mesh cowl. You're a late riser, so you want the sun to stay up late. Okay, all right. I mean, that's a perfectly valid argument for or against. All right, so I need to keep my tail not from getting caught up in this. I don't know which one's technically daylight savings, but you hate it.
Get the spacecraft assembled, do the final test. Did not have a lot of margin in our schedule.
I don't know. I never minded it.
Entirely shifted from that.
It never
Team safe and keeping their families safe.
never really
Um,
was something that I had too much of a problem with. Except the one time I was doing night shift and I ended up working a 13-hour shift. It was like, oh my god, this is hell. That last hour is killer when your body's used to working 12s. 13 kills ya.
you know, thanks to a lot of help.
And Matt, just how large is the team that worked on Perseverance?
It's a big team.
It's a big team.
People here just at JPL, in fact, have worked on the mission. And then almost every other NASA center
let's make it
has
big.
contributed in
That is technically true, yes.
critical ways.
But it's easier to work. It's easier to do farming in the daylight. It's I know farmers. It's easier for them to do their job in the daylight. Let's maybe push this down just a little bit more so we can see the cup of coffee, but the knitting. And my awesome shirt.
It's a big team. It's taken a lot of people to get us.
I love this shirt. It's super comfortable. It also is a book shirt.
Difficult landing site ever attempted.
You just want them to pick one. Yeah. The back and forth gets confusing when I have to change my clock.
I mean, it's
That's frustrating.
because it's got a lot of things like craters and you know, fields and cliffs and sand dunes and that sort of thing, which are great for the science community. That's
Oop, they're getting a little. Their stream's getting a little glitchy. I need a step stool to put my foot on, guys. I need a step stool.
new technology to remote navigation.
It finally stopped snowing today, but we've got like
But we have
probably a good 12 or 13 inches piled up everywhere.
use the same techniques, the same
I drove my sister to work. I'm gonna go get her after her shift is done, and it was not nice. The roads are not nice at all.
Mars rover
Oh yeah, I have one built in my chair. Oh yeah, I have one built in my chair. I knew that. I forgot that.
situation.
Okay, wait. I got it. Let me pop it up.
Everything they've gotten
There's toxic for the wait. We're having some technical difficulties. Let me. Here we go.
Thanks, Matt, and good luck on your fifth mission.
Dip-a-dip. It goes this way. Come on.
Jezero Crater
Come on, thing. I'm
location on
facing the.
Mars that has intrigued
You want my wardrobe? My wardrobe's not that great. It's like,
Marina to learn
it's
more about the science goals of the mission.
yeah. There we go. Oh, that's. I forgot about that. Thanks. Lazy butt night owl. Gotcha.
Thanks, Marina. Glad to be here.
Honestly, I think my farmer friends would like to be lazy butt night owls too.
Why is it that you and the team chose this?
All right, so now the things.
Yeah, so science
Guys, we're just gonna move it.
places on Mars, and possibly the entire
So you may notice that there's no skein of yarn hanging behind me.
ancient lake.
I caked it.
One of the best preserved ancient delta deposits on the surface of Mars. And deltas
So.
form when a river enters a relatively open body of water, like an impact crater, and deposits the sediment.
Yeah, for now it's comfortable.
And we know based on studies of deltas and lakes here on Earth that they're great places to concentrate and preserve organics and support microbial life.
That is true.
I'm also excited because Jezero exposes rocks that are between 3.5 to more than 4 billion years old and represent a variety of different geological processes.
Look at this little stitch marker I've got. It's a tiny sock. It's a winter sock. So cute. I did have a Tweety
Finding a truly compelling ancient
jumper, as you say it.
the rocks in and around Jezero
I call it a sweatshirt here. It is. That was that hand-me-down one, and it is still so comfortable, even though it's kind of finally falling apart. It's been through like 6 or 7 hands. They are the cat. Is it Cat Trinkles? Cat Trinkles? It's this. I have a whole set of them. Yeah, the 90s one. Wait, yeah? The tweet, yeah. The biker one, the biker Tweety. So it's Tweety facing you on the front, and then on the back is the back of him. I forget what the license plate on the motorcycle says. Super comfortable though.
Absolutely should have been capable of supporting ancient life. So we can find out an answer to the question: where there were habitable environments, was there life? And studying the possible emergence of life on ancient Mars can also help us better understand the conditions that led to.
But we haven't yet found. See, that's the thing. We keep saying that. We keep saying about finding stuff, but they haven't found anything like rock solid. I follow all of them on Twitter. She's so cute. The kids they have coming.
Yeah, that is such a great question.
Drummers, but you love. Yeah. They're so good, honestly. They're so good. And if you look at them right now, yep, mine's also oversized. If you try to find one, they consider them vintage, and they're very expensive. You just saw a shirt that says, nice tits. And it's 8 different birds. That's funny.
And once that happened, liquid water wasn't stable on the surface of Mars anymore. It was too cold, and
Are they the,
and so now
there's a bird species called the tit. It's like a tit bird. Tits. I forget what they are. We have the 90s themed sweater. Disney Hercules, very cool. They don't make things like they don't get the same kind of sweatshirts I think that you had before. I haven't seen them at least.
Marina,
They're
earlier we
the
were
style has
discussing
changed,
the
so
communication system
there are
software
boobies. They're
for
blue-footed
that
boobies.
She
I happen to
helps
think those
break
ones are
down
funny.
the system used to track
It's a
Perseverance
tit.
during
Got it.
landing.
Their number bird's called a tit. Got it. Okay.
Infrastructure supporting Perseverance's
Ooh.
landing is quite complex.
She has very nice hair.
Global network of relays
I'm so jealous. My hair's back in a
to help us record those
one of these things. Can you the buns because it was giving me a problem.
receive a stream of engineering telemetry via these communication assets that
So
help us
jealous.
see and understand
You're wearing your NWHL sweatshirt again. Nice.
direct-to-earth X-band tones.
They are adorable. They really are. They're up there with those oh dang it, I just forgot the name of those tiny little penguins. Darn it, what are they called?
These orbiters relay these signals to deep space network stations on Earth, Madrid, in Spain, and Goldstone, in
It'll come to me. There were some super cute penguins that I very much like.
has reconfigured its software to perform
Yeah.
relay called Bentpipe.
I finally found like a hair
Real-time telemetry during entry
regime.
and landing.
Regimen, not regime. Regimen that works. Hey Raven!
Few minutes after
Hello! Hello Raven! How are you?
delayed by the time it takes light to travel from
Your hair's always back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like you just like pull it back. I've started wearing it down more, but
is recording these UHF signals and will be
didn't feel like it today.
recording hours after landing. Maven will be covering us from around the time of cruise stage separation until a few minutes after landing. We also
Yay!
receive what we call
Landing!
heartbeat tones, which are
All right.
indications that the spacecraft is alive.
Y'all, Perseverance sings.
It's important to note
She
that all
sings to let them know how things are doing.
communication links and still land safely. Because Perseverance is doing entry, descent, and landing completely autonomously, she doesn't need our help to joystick the landing. The communication links give us added visibility.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna land
And
herself,
you can see
basically.
Chloe hard at
is my
work
understanding.
inside mission control right now.
supposed to be
Perseverance's landing might
sold
look
in-
like the system the Curiosity rover used
Refuse to
back
leave
in
without it.
2012.
Nice.
But landing on Mars
Concrete and glass are both. Yes, they are both made out of sand. Yes, indeed.
Here's what needs to happen for Perseverance to touch down
Um,
safely in Jezero Crater.
It's the Perseverance landing. She's gonna land on Mars.
Things we just don't know.
They said in about an hour and a half. So that was 30 minutes ago. So probably in about an hour, give or take a little bit. I want to hear her sing too. I want to hear the tones. Gosh, it just makes me love her even more.
Entry, descent, and landing
Here,
is
we'll turn her
often
up just a
referred
little
to
bit.
as the 7 minutes of terror,
Yeah, right.
because it takes about 7 minutes
is important
to get
shit.
from the top of the atmosphere of Mars to the ground safely.
The spacecraft has to do all of this by itself.
There
Yeah, she does.
are many things that have to go right to get Perseverance onto the ground safely.
There's a lot counting on this. This is the first leg of our sample return relay race. There's a lot of work on
Yeah.
the line.
Starting about 10 minutes before
Perseverance is key in us getting
atmosphere
samples
entry,
back
we get
to
rid of
Earth.
Really the spacecraft part of the rover that's been supporting us.
We come screaming in to the Martian atmosphere at 12 to 13,000 miles per hour.
I love this music. It's so epic.
Shield is what dissipates all that initial energy through friction.
The vehicle will continue actually flying itself through the atmosphere. It's sort of like
It's
a
pretty awesome.
transforming vehicle that went from spacecraft and now it's kind of like an aircraft actively guiding
Chris.
itself.
When
High
we're going
five.
slow enough, we deploy a
Camera. I
parachute.
can't reach.
The biggest supersonic parachute we've ever sent.
That is
to
so
another planet.
cool.
It's critical for slowing down.
I'm gonna be like,
vehicle.
I know somebody who worked on Perseverance.
Perseverance's entry, descent, and landing borrows heavily from that
Ah.
of Curiosity.
Do you want to pull my door closed, Bob?
But fundamentally,
I didn't realize you
Perseverance
were
is a different rover. She's bigger,
out and about.
She has different instruments.
Hey, by the way,
A lot of
Perseverance is
smart
landing in
things
about an hour.
To make it more capable so that it can deal with the landing site that we've given it.
The science team identified Jezero
Okay.
Crater as basically
Bob
a
don't
seismic
care.
bed, and it's one of the most promising places to look for evidence of ancient microbial life and to collect samples for.
He was
future
doing
return.
the
The problem is it's a much more hazardous place
area
to
to
land.
yeah.
If you look at Jezero, all you see is danger. How do we get to a
It's
site
danger
that
everywhere.
we never thought was safe enough to go to before? So the heat shield, which has protected us all the way through entry, is no longer necessary. We need to get that off so that we can actually see the ground. And we can see the ground
Okay.
in a couple different ways.
Perseverance will be the first mission to use
Phil is-
terrain
Phil is
relative
missing his
navigation. So while
face
it's
color.
descending
Interesting.
on the parachute, it will actually
Why
be
is
taking
this-
images
Oh, I
of
see.
the surface of Mars and determining where to go based on what it sees. This
She's
is
so
finally
smart.
like landing with your eyes open. But having this new technology really allows Perseverance to land in much more challenging terrain than Curiosity or any previous Mars mission.
Oh,
Amongst
Curiosity
the
has my
rocks,
heart.
craters, and the cliffs, these things are hazardous to the rover, but these are the things that are interesting.
I love the Mars rovers
Once Perseverance has figured out where she is, jettison the back shell and parachute
so much.
and light up our rockets. Those rockets help us steer to a safe landing spot that's nearby.
That descent stage takes us all the way down to about 20 meters off the ground.
That's when we
You know, here, all right, this is both interesting and sad. When I was little, I never dreamed of being an astronaut because I knew I would never make it. But I would love to be an astronaut.
But surviving that 7 minutes
You know,
is really just the beginning.
this sounds like Mass Effect.
Its job
Guys, we're landing on Mars!
to go look for those signs of past life on Mars.
Maybe we'll find some hint
Perseverance
of the
safely to ground.
Protheans.
And then that's when the real mission begins.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! Oh, I'm so excited! I'm so excited! NASA. Oh wow, 23 are part of the tour on Ingenuity. Nice. Guys, I'm so excited, it's stupid.
With us now is Al.
You have to be at least 5'4".
He
I
is
I squeak in at
Perseverance
5'4",
landing lead.
and
You were part of the Curiosity rover landing. Does it get any
5'4" and a half.
easier the second time around?
It absolutely does not, especially when considering we're trying to land the biggest, heaviest, and most
Yep.
complex rover we've ever built.
Yeah,
The most
she's
dangerous
crazy.
landing site we've ever attempted. Jezero may look great and promising from a science perspective, but it's absolutely
Science.
treacherous for landing. There's a cliff wall that's about 200 feet tall that runs right through the middle of the landing site.
So I'm gonna be like panic knitting while this happens because
And there are rocks to the
panicky.
east and actually all over the place, rock fields. That
Yep.
would be a bad day for us if we were to land on them.
Now, Al, what new technology makes this type of dangerous landing possible?
Perseverance is carrying two new technologies that are really kind of under the hood smarts that are allowing us to end at this
Under the
treacherous
hood
landing
smarts.
site.
Okay,
The
that's
first is
a little-
range trigger.
let's go
That's
there.
the ability we've given Perseverance the ability to decide
Make
for
a
herself
slime minifig and
based on
adds
where
to the
she is
space and
when
science
to deploy the
collection.
parachute.
Cute.
Previously, we used to deploy parachutes, that supersonic parachute,
Aw.
based just on navigated velocity. But now
6 feet,
Perseverance has the
dang,
smarts to
that's
figure out
tall.
where she is
I'm
and
not
deploy the
jealous.
Parachute at just the right place
Just-
to make sure
just
that
jealous.
shrink where we could come down. That actually reduces the area
Only
that's
a little bit.
error ellipse where we can come down on the ground. From something that was on the order of 15 miles long by 12 miles wide for Curiosity to
Yep.
about 5 miles long by 4 miles wide.
I mean, that's
For
crazy.
Perseverance, so that's quite a bit of reduction.
Yeah.
Second,
I'm just agreeing with
the
what
next
he's
piece of
saying.
technology that's
I
helped
guess I could
land
look over.
is terrain
Wait, where is
relative
he? Is he
navigation.
over there? Yeah, he's over
In the
there. I
past,
should have put him on the
after
other
we
side of
popped off
me.
the heat shield,
The camera.
pictures of the ground
the
systems
screens.
popping up. We haven't really done anything with them. This time, Perseverance is carrying a camera to take pictures, but
Mhm.
also a kind of second brain to help it figure out what those pictures are telling it.
Hi, Rack. How are you?
Map from a satellite. That allows us to
Mhm.
figure out
Yeah,
exactly
I
where
see you
she
there,
is.
Raven. See you
Suddenly
there.
Then she can then fly to safe spots that are nearby once she really knows where she is. It allows the
Decreased
site to
lung
not have to
functions
be
means
as
high
flat and boring
pressure
as a pancake as if some of our
would
past has
collapse
been
them.
the entire
I wonder
period
what's the
has come down.
threshold for that.
Now we just need little pieces of that site.
I don't want to
to
test
be
it. I'm
small
just
enough and
curious.
safe
What's the
enough,
threshold?
for us to land in safety
At
and
what
fly there
at
after
what
we've just
amount
jumped out
of
the parachute.
decreased lung function do your lungs
Social
collapse?
media question coming in. San
That's
Sakari
morbid. I don't
14
really need
on
to know that.
Instagram is asking, how does the Sky Crane decide where to move itself after the payload lands?
After the payload lands, after the rover
Nat.
the Sky Crane, the descent stage, which is that rocket-powered jetpack above it. The first job, of course,
Can
is to
still
make sure
take
you
them out
don't
of-
hurt the rover.
take out-
So
take
it'll
out the
turn
kneecaps.
forward or backward.
Yep.
So that the engine plumes don't pass over the rover. So
Oof,
it'll come
yeah.
up and start to turn. And it'll go in whichever direction is closest to north. So it can either go forward, if that's the way north is, or go toward the rear of the rover, if that's where north is. And it'll fly about a third of a mile or so away.
Thanks for talking to us today, Al.
Thank you very much.
Now,
He is so
let's head back to
serious. Like
Mission
his face
Control
is
for
just.
an update
I mean, this is
on-
serious business for him. This is like serious.
Cal. So remember that command that we sent at around 11:35 to turn the transmitter off?
Yes.
We are just about to get confirmation that Perseverance has received the command. the command took 11 minutes to go to Perseverance, and then the reply took 11
Minutes to come back.
from Perseverance.
Longest
to the
11,
ground. So we
well, technically
should
longest
hear,
22 minutes
any
of
second now
my life.
that we have officially turned off the transmitter.
Okay.
And after that, we will be about 4 minutes from the start of entry, descent, and landing mode. At this point, we will transition from the cruise approach mode to entry, descent, and landing.
Restrain yourself. Be calm. Just got your Lego box today. Ooh.
To the surface. So far, things are looking good.
2 of the Harry Potter classroom sets. That is exciting. I almost bought Legos today, but instead I got a book when I dropped my sister off at work. I think she's actually holding it hostage because I realized I didn't have it in my hands when I left the building. That's okay. Oh, he has a chart. Ooh. Bet you they made that in Excel. Or some like proprietary Excel. Space L.
Copy Ace. GDS flight. Flight GDS. At this time, I'd like to disable the alarms before EDL main. So please disable all the alarm files and start a new downlink session. Copy that. BGP. Copy that. Proceeding now.
That we are now officially one way and the transmitter is off.
Can you guys hear it okay? Should I turn it up? Should I turn it down?
Rover mission has helped shape the other, starting with the landing of the Pathfinder more than 20 years ago, leading up to where we are today with Perseverance.
Ooh, that's cool. They can connect with the
Perseverance
covers.
Deputy Project Manager Jennifer Trosper has worked on every Mars rover mission, and
You had to check to make sure your
joins us
boyfriend? Best
Jennifer,
friend? Wait,
how
best
does
friend is
Perseverance
BFF.
fit
Boyfriend.
into the history of
Sorry.
exploring Mars?
Thank you for the lurk, Huntress. I can turn it up.
Well, Perseverance
Let me
is
know how
NASA's
that
fifth
is.
rover on Mars, and I've had the privilege of working on every one of them. And the very first rover was
You have
the
a coupon.
Sojourner rover we sent in 1997, and it
But
was the
sorry,
size
my-
of a
like I
microwave
said, brain.
oven. And even at that small size, Sojourner was able to transform the way that we explore Mars from stationary landers to small roving robots that go from place to place, just like a geologist would. On
I don't
Earth.
have feels about
so once we
the
had
rovers,
that roving
okay?
capability, then we sent our twin
really do.
rovers
It's
Spirit
embarrassing.
and Opportunity. Spirit and Opportunity were tasked with finding evidence of ancient water on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Now they did. They're great explorers, and both of them found
They did such a
ample
good job.
evidence that water had once existed on the surface of Mars.
These
But we had a
rovers work
question.
so hard
Another
for us,
question
you
then
guys.
Was Mars ever habitable if water had been there? And that's when we sent Curiosity. Now, Curiosity was a major upgrade
Yes.
to our rover fleet. She's the size of a small car.
Yep.
She landed with the Sky Crane system instead of airbags. And she also
Oh, yeah, I
carries
remember-
along
yeah, I
her
remember
own
that.
sample analytics lab, and she's still operating today. And during her exploration, she has found evidence of a habitable environment in an ancient lake bed on Mars.
Yeah.
So now we're sending Perseverance.
To check for more.
Perseverance is tasked with answering the question and looking for evidence of ancient microbial life on Mars. And in order to do this,
Life
she
on
has
Mars.
to be the smartest and most capable rover we've ever sent.
The smartest and most
Speaking of
capable
Perseverance,
rover.
Can you tell us more about how Perseverance is smarter
She's so
than its
smart.
predecessors?
Sorry.
Yes, we've made a lot of
Um,
upgrades to help her
my
along
favorite
with
is
the
the
surface mission.
herbology
One
set.
of them
You're
is
biased
for her
because you're Hufflepuff.
autonomous traverse capability. When I say
Hufflepuff's
autonomous
awesome.
traverse, I mean we tell her
Mars-
where
Mars-
we want her
Mars
to
might
end
be
up,
haunted.
and she has
Wait, I
to
thought the
figure
moon
out
was haunted.
the safe and best way to get there. In order to do that, she uses her cameras, algorithms, a computer. So we've given her another computer, we've upgraded the cameras, and we've upgraded the algorithms. Now she drives 3 times as fast as Curiosity could drive in this autonomous traverse mode.
Ooh, she drives 3
In
times
fact,
as fast.
her average daily distance for driving,
Oh,
about
yeah?
200 meters, is close to the maximum distance any rover has ever driven
Wow.
in a day on Mars. So she's fast. Another
She's
thing
zippy.
that we've done, which is the most significant upgrade
Zippy
that
little
we've
rover.
made, is the sample caching system itself.
Moon is haunted.
Curiosity has a robotic arm, like Perseverance has a robotic arm, but on the end of Perseverance's robotic arm is a coring drill that will go and take rock cores transfer them into sample tubes and into the rover, where another robotic arm will take those tubes, will seal them and store them, and eventually drop them on the surface of Mars for future return to Earth.
Yeah, see,
And
we got to
also
get to
had
that
a
point, though.
social media question about Perseverance.
You gotta get to that point. There's an awful lot of questions there.
What the wheels
Oh, thank you
of
for the
rover
lurk,
are
Rack.
made
Thank you,
out of.
thank you.
Great question. Well, you may think we make them out of some
Oh,
material you've
Valheim
never heard
again?
of,
Cool,
but
I hope you
it
enjoy
turns out
that.
they're made of aluminum. Now, Perseverance's wheels are a little thicker than Curiosity's, but they're actually both made out of aluminum.
And one more question for you. Can you tell us more about the importance of where you are right now in the building?
Yeah, where are
Yes,
you?
I am above, on the second floor, above the cruise mission support area that you've been watching. And this is the surface mission support area. So as soon as Perseverance lands, all commands, this room will take over. It will become headquarters for operating Perseverance on Mars.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, Jennifer.
Thank
So
you.
stupid excited.
Now, we now know Perseverance's place in history. Let's take an up-close look at the rover with Mars 2020 System Testbed Engineer Elio Morillo.
Thank you, Raquel. I'm standing in front of the Mars 2020 Perseverance scaled model. As you can tell, this vehicle
She's
is
huge.
about the size of a Mini Cooper. These wheels are obviously black here and they look like rubber, but they're actually fully made of metal. These wheels are designed to allow us to climb over obstacles and of course climb over hills and minimize the amount of slipping once we're traversing on the surface of Mars. Here in the front of the rover, we have the sample caching system. And of course, at the very front end of this is the robotic arm, which this entire system is arguably the most complex robotic system we've ever sent outside of Earth. Here at the tip of the arm, we have a turret which contains a suite of instruments along with some drills and coring capabilities that will allow us to do contact
Sounded
science
like somebody was
once we
putting
get
off
to the surface of
fireworks.
Mars. Not only that,
Again.
this robotic system is equipped to collect samples about the size of a piece
Yeah,
of
I'm with
chalk
Calliope. That sounds
that
painful.
then eventually will be stored inside of the vehicle and dropped off in a later location so that an eventual mission can go and return these samples to Earth, something we've never done in the past.
I have
Here in the
not
front, we
seen
have
The
the remote
Magicians.
sensing
It's on my
mast.
list to watch,
Something
but I
of
have
note
not seen it.
is
Yes,
that
aluminium.
This mechanism is going to be stowed upon
Aluminum,
touchdown
aluminium.
on the surface of Mars. And one of the first critical activities we do is deploy this mechanism. This mechanism includes several cameras that are going to give us some of the most breathtaking images we've ever taken on Mars. Along with that, we have some lasers as well as a spectrometer. They're going to allow us to do some remote science. Here you see some of these extrusions that are part of the larger weather suite of instruments that will allow us to characterize the local climate around Perseverance. So that's a quick tour of the rover, but I gotta get back to work. So back to you.
Today on the list of things I didn't think about. Wait, what did we add? Wait, what did we add? Oh, wait. I'm confused. Wow, this conversation is going in strange directions.
Samples of Martian rock for future
I've heard it's
return to
really
Earth.
good. I've
We've
heard it's
that
really good.
scientists have been wanting to bring Martian samples back for
I guess if I'd been
many
smart, I could have binge watched it this whole
and here to
snow
talk a little bit about that is
snowed
NASA's
in week.
Planetary Science
Did
Division
not think about
Director
it at all.
Lori Glaze, who joins us now to talk about the role Perseverance will play in
Lori.
NASA's future goals. Welcome, Lori.
What in the world is happening?
Now, as you just heard, we've heard that scientists have been wanting to bring back these Martian samples for a very long time. Why do we need to bring them back?
That's really a great question. You know, we actually have examples of Mars already here on Earth that came here as meteorites. But we don't know exactly where they came from on Mars, and then they also have had to make the trip from Mars to Earth, and so they got altered during that time, and then during their entry and descent into the Earth's atmosphere, that also changes what those rocks are like. So being able to go to Mars and actually collect a sample where we know exactly where it came from, and we know we can preserve it and keep it pristine and carry it all the way back here.
We hope we can keep it pristine and get it back to Earth. There's still problems there.
The geologic history of Mars.
There's a lot going on here. There's a lot. Like, I would love for that to happen, but there's a lot. We just get really excited and we get ahead of ourselves and we're like, ooh, samples, we gotta bring them back to Earth.
3.5 billion
Are
years
we?
ago, and whether that life,
Anyways,
if
sorry.
it existed, has been preserved in the surface of Mars.
Oh my
Now,
God,
Lori,
toxic.
these
That's right.
sample
Yeah,
tubes
y'all
that
are
Perseverance is going
lunatics.
to be collecting. They're the cleanest
Indeed.
things
That's
ever created on Earth.
perfect.
Tell
You
me
get a
little
gold
bit about
star.
Oh my goodness, we worked
give you a gold
so
star? How do I-
hard. The team here at JPL
I need a gold
is
star to give
absolutely
people.
incredible to assure that those sample tubes are incredibly clean. One of the main goals of this mission
Is not
is
to-
to be able to detect if there's actual life that's preserved, ancient life preserved in those rocks, in those samples.
And to do
we
that-
definitely don't want to be carrying, our own DNA off to Mars and then bring it back here to confuse our scientists when they're trying to study those samples.
Exactly what she
It
said.
is an incredibly
We don't want to
clean,
contaminate
set
samples.
of,
Thank you. Okay.
Equipment that's been sent there.
I'm all over
as
that.
you said, the cleanest thing we've
you're
ever
on
sent into space.
Witch Talk?
Now, this is a
Witch
very
Talk?
complicated campaign. Can you break down for us how it's
Is that like
going
TikTok?
to work, and if there's any
Is that like
international
TikTok?
partners working with us?
You are correct. The Mars sample return
Yes,
campaign
yes, you get
is
it. Yes, that's the
incredibly
exact
complex.
award
In
you
fact,
get.
It's probably the most challenging thing we've ever tried to do. But we're definitely not going to try and do it alone. We have great partners with the European Space Agency.
Mm-hmm.
And the way this campaign is going to work, well, Perseverance is the first step. Chapter
Yes,
1
she is.
is going to Mars and collecting the samples.
Samples, mhm.
Chapter 2 is going to be a sample return lander that we hope to launch in around 2026 to 2028.
That's so
And that
long!
lander, it'll be an American lander carrying a fetch rover that's provided by European Space Agency. And that little fetch rover will drive out and
Are we
pick
telling
up the samples that
a rover to
Perseverance left on
fetch?
the surface of Mars. And the fetch rover will bring them back and load them into a rocket that we call the Mars Ascent Vehicle, which will be the first ever launch from another planet. And it will launch those samples into orbit around Mars. In the meantime, the European Space Agency will have an orbiter that's in orbit around Mars that can rendezvous and capture those samples and then bring them back to Earth for us to study back here in our amazing laboratories.
A lot of firsts,
That's gonna
it
be
sounds
very
like,
interesting.
Lori, and another first.
Quite
how
honestly,
is
it sounds like science
Perseverance
fiction.
And the Mars sample return mission going to help the future exploration, human exploration of Mars.
I'm so glad you asked that. I think we're going to get a lot of great information.
You know, I
from
just
Mars
realized I
sample
left my pattern
return
up
with,
behind,
again, being able to
the
land
YouTube.
the heaviest
So
payload
let me
we've ever
pop
landed
this down.
on Mars will be that sample return
And I'm gonna
lander.
just
That's
take my
critical
pattern and move
to
it
us
over
learning
here.
how to land humans on Mars. And then we
Sorry,
are
guys.
definitely going to want to be
There we
able to
go.
launch the humans back off of Mars. So that Mars Ascent Vehicle is going to
Well,
be
I mean,
critical. That
yeah, we don't
want
wanna
to
leave people stranded on Mars.
Another planet.
So exciting,
That's so fetch.
Lori. And
Mhm,
speaking about the
mhm.
Mars generation, we're now going to take a student question for you from Livia.
Hi, my name is Livia, and my question is, what made you want to study Mars, and why are you working so hard?
Is she reading a
and willing
teleprompter?
To wait so long for a sample?
How dare
Thank
she?
You.
Doesn't she know this is there are no teleprompters
Oh,
allowed?
Olivia, that is such a great question.
I always
and-
think it's
and
interesting
I
when you can see
enjoy
people
Mars
reading
just
stuff.
because it can tell us so much about
Also,
how
when you
our
can tell
solar
people are
system
lip
formed and
syncing,
evolved. All of the
lip
planets
singing,
can tell
lip
us different
syncing?
parts of that story, and
Sync
Mars is
or
a really
sing?
key piece of that. And one of the main reasons we're
If I'm
willing
pretending to
wait
sing, I'm
so
probably
long
singing
to get the
poorly,
sample
but
back
I'm,
is that
you know,
we've
into it.
got great new scientists that are all about your age, and in about 10 or 15 or 20 years, you'll be the generation that's going to actually
TikTok
get
has
to
different
work
sections,
with these
like
samples.
witch talk, mom talk,
when they come
mum
back,
talk.
you'll be the scientists and
cat talk,
engineers that
adult
will,
talk.
will
That's
be the
terrifying.
next generation to change how we
That
think
sounds-
about,
see, this is why I
about
just don't-
Mars and how we think about life
I just
in
don't
the
get
solar
TikTok.
system.
It's too crazy.
That was a great question, Lori. Reach for the stars, future little scientists and engineers. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Lori.
It's my pleasure. Thanks.
Sync.
Back to you, Raquel, for another
Oh
mission
no, I don't
update.
need to. I don't
Thanks,
need, I
Marina.
paid my car note.
The
Thanks. I don't
cruise
need to do it
team
again.
for Perseverance controls the
Alright,
rover
so now we're
on
on row
its way to Mars.
33, and row 33 is a
moments
nip.
ago, they handed it
Nip row.
over to the landing team, and it looks like team leaders in mission control are about to talk to both teams. So let's listen in.
The CDM change, as I mentioned previously, is to the EDL reserve two-way non-coherent route. Activity. Copy flight. EDL phase, go ahead.
Like proceed.
You
Pep
cut out a
talk, I
little.
guess, to the team. All right. You know I'm terrible at pep talks. I think my reputation precedes me there. And look, I know this hasn't been easy, right? I'm not even sure we've even been all in the same room at the same time. I mean, I'm staring at folks across the internet as well. Even now, right? Yeah. Voice check? Okay. I
His
do want
pal
to
down there's
extend,
telling him we
my
can't hear
heartfelt
you.
appreciation from the EDL team to the launch cruise team. You've done everything we've asked for, right? I mean, you've battled anomalies, you've dealt with Cephis, you've done everything. You delivered a healthy spacecraft to the place that we want to go. And she's right on target, right? You did the last maneuver literally 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is pretty incredible, in my opinion.
This is a pretty good pep talk. What was
and
he
she's
saying?
on
He
with the
doesn't
right
give good
information
pep
to help us
talks.
land. Doing the parameter update last night, we're ready to roll.
He's
You've done
doing a
everything
great
right.
pep talk.
And you've put up with us too, right? You've put up with our eccentricities and the things we like to do in EDL land.
I like that
so
he said that
I very much
correctly.
appreciate that. So you all should sleep in on Friday, since you guys have earned it. Thanks for literally and figuratively putting us in the right position to succeed. And let's land on Mars together.
Copy EDL phase. And as flight director, I also would like to thank the whole team, cruise ops, EDL ops, EDL team, and the surface ops as well. It's been an amazing journey. I think we all know that. And it's been my honor and pleasure to work with you all side by side. And your tireless efforts and endurance in the face of our challenges has been truly, truly inspiring.
Yep.
So, kudos to you.
Mm-hmm.
Mission, would you like
So
to see
kudos to you.
Yeah, just echoing the same words that Al and Magdi have mentioned. You guys have overcome great obstacles in the last 6.5 months.
I'm so excited
and
about this.
It started with an earthquake in this room on launch day at L-20 minutes. So I can't be more
getting
proud
posted here?
than all of the achievements that you guys have pulled off in the last 6.5 months. Whatever happens in the next hour and a half, you can be proud of the achievements that you've accomplished so far. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. And I only wish that the rest of our team could be sharing this moment with us.
In the same room.
This is a very unusual event. This room is only half as full as it would be if we weren't in this pandemic. So missing everybody on the team who's not with us here today. And go EDL.
Welcome to the EDL family.
Can you guys see? Look at the corner of the webcam. Can you see that thing wiggling down there? It's actually moving off camera. This.
And with
Let's
that,
move back over here.
Godspeed,
This.
perseverance.
It's so tight that when I try to pull the yarn, it moves the skein.
All right, activity. Go ahead and continue the report.
I gotta give it the,
Sure thing,
the
Fred.
old yank.
We've since completed the EDL start anchor.
When you
as I was
first
mentioning, we
wind a
changed
cake,
our
they're
CBM row to
super
EDL
tight on the
reserve,
inside.
two-way non-coherent. That row reinforces our CBM windows disabled, keeps our packetization on. It turns off our ranging and switches to the auxiliary oscillator.
I have
We've
one
also
yarn
started
bowl.
our real
It is holding all of my Baby Yoda stuff.
and reinforced net
Actually. Chair. Okay.
Now, we just heard Perseverance team leaders thank the cruise team for their work in guiding the rover to Mars.
Yes.
Now, did you know the
They did
rover
do a very
name
good job.
and Mars helicopter name came from students?
Yes.
Well, a couple weeks ago,
know
Marina was
that.
able to catch up with them.
Or a jar with a hole in it.
Raquel. Earlier this year, NASA and our partners held a nationwide essay contest to name our Mars rover. Alex Mather, a 7th grader from Springfield, Virginia, submitted the winning
look at how
essay
good this is
that was
turning out.
selected by NASA from a field of more
I'm
than
really happy with this.
28,000 entries
Okay.
from K through 12
Drawing
students
section
in
in Discord.
every state in the U.S. Vanessa Rupani's essay for Ingenuity was so compelling, NASA thought it would be a perfect name for the history-making helicopter, a technology demonstration carried aboard the Perseverance rover. Alex and Vanessa join us now.
Discord.
Welcome, you guys.
Hello, space nerds.
Hi. Now, you got to go to Florida and
Hello,
watch the
space
launch
nerds.
live back in July. Alex, what were you feeling as you saw that rocket launch into the sky?
I read a lot of books written by astronauts, and every single one of them always talks about the raw power behind a space launch.
Uh-huh.
And I definitely feel like watching the launch invoked that sense of inspiration mixed with anticipation, along with that rumble in my chest.
That's very inspirational, and I'm sure
He has thought
that
about
you
that
have had
question
many conversations
a
with your
lot.
classmates since this all began. Now, what kind of questions have they asked you?
I got some people asking me about what this helicopter is, what this rover is, what are they actually going to do. So I love that
She
this whole
has
experience
a
sparked a greater interest in the
Pokemon
mission
on
in
her
my community.
bed. I think that's a
Why do you
Pokemon,
think it's
and she's
so
a Harry Potter
important
poster.
for kids to be
This kid's
inspired
great.
by space exploration?
Because space is the future, and kids are the future. Learning about space and watching the story of humanity spread
Wow,
to
my-
the stars happen
my brain
is
just broke.
watching the future happen.
He's right.
and
Kids are the
seeing
future.
history
That's how
unfold.
that works.
The best way to keep our home safe and protect our planet is to learn from the worlds around it. So I think it's really important for the
Whose
next
brother?
generation of scientists to be engaged in that type of exploration to make
Wait,
our
show
home
me
the
this
best
kid
place
again.
it can be.
Now, speaking of the future,
My brother?
what has your life been like since naming the rover and helicopter? Has it sparked any future aspirations for the
There it
two of
is,
you?
okay. You going to Mars?
Man. I am currently applying to a science and technology school for high school. Hoping for a NASA internship sometime along the way, with my ultimate goal being to join the incredible team of scientists and engineers who are about to make this happen.
I love him. He's like, just while I'm on the phone with NASA, hey guys, I'd like an internship with
Did all
NASA.
my college applications and checked aerospace engineering on all the boxes.
I love these kids.
I mean, the whole time we were there, I was thinking, why would anyone want to do anything else?
Tell them. Tell them. You know
and
what?
The best of luck to both of
The
you.
worst thing that
Thank
can
you
happen
so
is
much
they
for
can say
joining us
no,
here
but I
today,
mean,
Alex and Vanessa.
the best thing that can happen is they say these kids have.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
I love
Now,
these
your
kids.
essays, as
I
well
guess
as the
they're
top
preteens. Teens?
155 finalist essays
Gosh,
are
they're great.
riding on the Perseverance rover, along with nearly 11 million of the names from all over the world
Hey, NASA,
that were
I know we're
submitted before
being
launch.
interviewed,
And
but,
if you miss the
hey,
chance
call
to
me.
get your name on Perseverance, then you will get another chance to reserve a spot on the next mission to Mars. So
Right,
make sure
yeah.
that you sign up now at
Oh my
mars.nasa.gov
God.
for your boarding pass.
I mean, that's a really smart
Virtual
move.
celebrations are happening
You know?
all over the globe. Let's take a look at some of your submissions.
I'd
on
hire
our
somebody
social
that was
channels,
like,
showing us
you know,
how
as a
you're
teenager, like,
celebrating
hey,
the
so
Perseverance
this is what I'm
landing
doing. This is my
right
goal.
now. And remember to
Call me.
hashtag countdown to Mars and send those in. We would love to show them off. Look at these
Oh,
kids.
look at-
They are getting so excited. Everyone's
Look at that cool
watching it.
lamp in the
A lot of
background.
classrooms
Those are textbooks on
watching
the right.
it. Oh, and great, someone did a Lego version.
That's
of
awesome!
Perseverance, which is awesome.
Lego Perseverance
Looks
doesn't have enough wheels,
fantastic.
but
we love getting
you know,
all your
semantics.
pictures out there. We've
Oh,
gotten a lot of artwork
and
from
look at
kids,
the little-
which has been great. I know I have a 9-year-old John at home, and he loves to draw the rover.
First helicopter on
And
Mars,
look at
right?
That is awesome. That's better than anything I could bake. That's for sure.
Or
Perseverance
they
in a
didn't say
cake.
helicopter. They said
That looks so great.
Um,
Delicious. I want to get into that.
first drone on Mars.
Another great send-in.
Was that
from
what they said?
David
I
Bowie
forget exactly
Reel.
how they said it.
Thank you so much for your submissions.
is so
Remember,
cool.
hashtag countdown to Mars. We love to see how you're celebrating.
Blip.
Now, you might know our next guest from shows
Yeah,
like
it is pretty
Emily's
awesome,
Wonder
Raven.
Lab. Joining me now is Emily Calandrelli. Thank you so much for being here.
She's got a
with us
huge
today.
smile. Oh, she's excited.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Now, you are very passionate about getting kids
Hello,
interested
space
in
nerds.
science and space exploration. Why do you think kids are so
That kid's gonna
excited
get
about
memed.
space?
I mean,
Well,
it's
I know
space.
the reason I'm excited about space, and I think it's the same reason that many others are excited about space, and it's that the people in the space industry work to answer two of the biggest questions that humans have ever asked. Are we alone in the universe, and where did we all come from? And by sending a rover
I'll agree
to
with the
Mars,
first
we are
question. I think
gaining
that's probably the one people
for the
most
answers to these
frequently
questions,
think of.
more evidence
Are
than
we
ever
alone
had
in the
before,
universe?
And I think
Yeah.
that's so exciting.
It is, and I know you get loads of interesting questions from kids. Have you gotten any about Mars specifically?
Probably.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
yes. Everybody loves Mars. It's in movies and books and
Yeah.
TV shows, and everybody loves Mars. So one of the
Wait,
things
TV
that
shows?
I get
Mars
asked a
isn't a
lot
TV
is that,
show?
you know, it's called the red planet. Why is it red? Well, it's
Well-
red because it's literally rusty. The
Yeah.
top layer of soil on Mars has
I always
iron
think it's funny when they
oxide
ask
in
questions
it,
like that. I'm
or
like,
rust,
do
and
some
rust
people
has
not know?
that brownish
Yes, some
red
people
color,
don't know
so
why
it's
Mars is red.
red because it's rusty, and also because
Some people
it's
aren't
red,
into that
they
kind of
ask,
factsy
is it red
stuff.
hot? Is it really hot on Mars? And well, no,
I think
actually,
it's actually kinda
colder
cold,
than the Earth.
yeah.
It's farther away from the sun, so
That
as you would
and
imagine,
the
it's a little bit colder
atmosphere's
than
thinner,
the Earth.
right?
It also has a really thin atmosphere, so the heat that it does have, it has a hard time keeping in, and so it's a little bit colder. But then I also get asked, what would I weigh on Mars? That's a really fun question. So on Mars, it's a little bit smaller than the Earth.
Oh,
so the
Raven, you
gravity
doing
there
things
is
for Nat.
weaker. It's about 3/8 the
You never
gravity
paid
that we have
attention to
here on Earth.
space.
So if you weighed 100 pounds here on Earth, you'd weigh 38 pounds on Mars, or 100
Wow.
kilograms here on Earth, 38 kilograms on Mars.
Those are all super
You don't
fun.
need a
I think
diet
even
if you
some
go to
adults wanna
Mars.
know the answers to those questions, Emily. Now, why do you think it's so important to educate
I only tuned in
kids
for the
about
rest of that,
science
so,
and
or for the
give
end of
them
that bit.
great foundation?
Well, science is the language of nature, and learning about science and learning how to think like a scientist means you are learning how to systematically seek out truth in the world. You are learning the scientific method, you're learning how to be a critical thinker, and honestly, those skills are great for whatever you end up wanting to do in life.
That is a true statement.
True. If you want to be a scientist or an opera singer, that holds true. And what are you most excited about today?
I mean,
If you want to be a scientist
robot to
or an
Mars,
opera singer.
that doesn't happen every day. I think in all of the hecticness
Apples
that is
and oranges.
going on today and all
Apples
of
and
the
oranges.
nerves, I just hope everyone can take a moment to sit back and remember that we live in a time when humans have the ability
you know what, Raven?
to send a robot
I kind
to
of glanced
another
at it out of the
planet,
corner of
and
my
that
eye.
is
I
just-
also
that's
thought it was
so
an
cool to
N7
me.
hoodie.
It
I
is
would
very
not
cool,
be
Emily.
surprised if
Take a
she
deep
owns
breath.
one.
Thanks for joining us here.
I feel like a lot of
Thanks for
space
having me.
people are very
Sending it back to you now, Raquel.
spacey.
Thanks, Marina. We are offering lots of ways to ride along with us to Mars. Now,
I like
put
how every time they
yourself
say
right
Raquel,
into the
I remember
action now
Rex
with
saying,
our Perseverance photo
I keep hearing
booth.
my name.
You can pose next to the rover, place yourself in our mission control, and even see
APL
what you
peanuts.
might look like taking a selfie on the red planet. There, you'll also have a chance to sign up to
Yes,
send your name
the
to Mars
ocean.
on
Well,
NASA's
I wouldn't
next
necessarily
flight
say the
to red
ocean
planet.
scares me, but
It's all available
I
at
want to know more. I don't know why we aren't putting.
Mars
I mean, all right, space is pretty darn cool. I
and
love learning about
joining
space.
us now is JPL
But
Chief
we should also be
Engineer
looking
and
at
landing veteran Rob
what's going on
Manning. He will
beneath
be breaking down
those
key moments
waves.
coming up, and very few people know more about landing on Mars
there are
than
many, many
Rob,
questions.
Going back to the
Yep,
Pathfinder
selfie on
mission
Mars.
in 1997.
Space
Thanks for
actually
joining
isn't
us
that
today,
far away,
Rob.
is the thing.
Thank you very much, Rick, for having me here. And what a wonderful experience. What a wonderful day for
Okay, let me check and make sure I know which row I'm on here.
We're just also excited here, anxious, worried, but very hopeful.
Rob, I have a question
Nat,
for you.
that's a
There is
really, really
landing
good
tradition at JPL that involves
piece of art.
eating peanuts for good luck.
Sorry, I just
can you
choke
tell
on
us
myself
how did
here.
that start?
Yes, it started in the mid 1960s. What happened was we had a series of missions that had failures. The Ranger program in the early 1960s, one after another, failed. And what happened was one day a fellow by the name of Dick Wallace on Ranger number 7.
Okay, I have to check
on
my
the 7th
my
attempt,
numbers.
decided to
Okay,
bring
yeah. Okay,
peanuts
so Raven, I
to
was
the
gonna
off
say
carriage
space
before
is really only
before
about
the
60
launch.
miles
And
up.
guess what?
Apparently, it's like
that mission worked.
the
Now,
shortest
we're not
distance is
supposed to be
62.
too superstitious.
62
We're
miles,
engineers and scientists
straight
after
up.
all. But we love tradition, and ever since then,
So it's
before
not that
launch
far.
and before critical events like entry, descent, landing, we have brought out peanuts and shared them with the team. And it's been really a wonderful little experience. And so this is something
Space is so
we're
open.
doing right now.
I know, that's
and,
not what you
And it's something that we just can't help ourselves.
It's what I
It's
thought,
just
though.
part of the experience.
There's Jerry.
Well, speaking
Boy,
of
nobody has
experience,
allergies.
How did the Perseverance team keep the tradition alive this year?
Well, this year we're passed out little packets of peanuts to the team, and they can sneak one peanut in their mouth as part of to keep the tradition alive.
Oh,
But,
good.
you know,
I'm glad they were
this
able
is
to do
part
that.
of the COVID experience, but we can't leave this one undone.
I'm
So
glad they were able
this
to,
is what
like,
we're
kind
doing,
of
and
come up with a way to-
And this is going to help us land safely.
All right, thanks.
I'm
Rob. I have
sorry.
some questions for you a little later on, but we are
Allergies
heading back to
are
Swati
nothing to
Mohan,
shake a
who
stick
is
at.
part
I've seen
of
some
the
really bad
landing team.
allergic
She'll
reactions
be
to
calling out
things.
key milestone and events as they happen from Mission Control. So let's listen in right now.
My lights just flickered.
So right now we're still about 20 minutes from entry, and the EL phase is giving a last-minute confirmation of what will be happening in the upcoming changes to the vehicle, just to remind the team.
And this will allow
I like
us
her
to
the way
steer
she speaks.
our
It's
trajectory,
very
as we make our way through the atmosphere. And
reserved.
This is one of the things that allowed MSL, the Curiosity rover,
Yep, we're almost done with another row. Wow.
to land
I should
where
hit when
it
they're
did.
landing Mars rovers
And we're
more
depending
often.
on
I'm
the same
making
type
tracks.
of entry guidance this time around,
Even with
to
all my
help get
goofing
us
off.
very close to our target. as we make our way.
Can you imagine how many wires are inside these
finish our
desk
guided
things?
entry,
Talk about cable management.
profile. We'll do a maneuver called heading alignment, where we point toward the target and get ready to deploy the parachute. But before we deploy the parachute, we need to get rid of a set of balance masses that have been giving us a center of gravity, or CG offset, throughout the guided entry phase. So these are called the entry balance masses. We also call this
Entry
maneuver
balance masses to give them a
SUFR,
center
or
of gravity.
straighten up and
Very
fly right.
interesting.
So we'll go ahead and eject those masses when we get a trigger from the GNC system telling us that we're at the appropriate range to the target to do so. As soon as we deploy those, we will no longer have a CG offset, and we'll be ready to deploy the parachute 17 seconds later.
Right where the Perseverance team is sitting now.
You know, one guy
What's
works
in
at
store for
JPL.
them as we approach landing.
I'm going to hold here for...
You'll have to let us know if they make a cameo, like an on-screen cameo. You know. Give them a shout out. I will not be attending the monthly ILSAC meeting. You guys don't pay me to work remotely. Sorry. I will check my email here in a minute, though, and see. Haven't seen him yet.
All right.
You should send him a text and be like, "Hey, wave at us."
Where the Perseverance team is sitting now.
You know,
what's
conspicuously
in
walk
store
in
for
front of the
them as
camera.
we approach landing.
Well, this is the really, this is the nail-biting time.
Yeah,
fortunately,
I'm
we still have ones and zeros
trying not to pay
coming, but
attention to
very
that
soon,
fuzz.
as we approach cruise stage separation, the transmitter on this rover we've been using all the way to get to Mars is going to be turned off.
Yep.
So we will lose our ability to see ones and zeros. But the good thing is, once the cruise stage is gone, there's another radio that will continue transmitting a tone, so that like a flashlight that will allow us to at least see that the vehicle.
It's
is
not like a
still
flashlight.
on.
She's singing.
And that color of that flashlight tells us a little bit what state the rover's in.
Okay, fine.
But
all
soon
right,
after
it's like a
that,
flashlight.
it won't be very long before we'll be able to hear more ones and zeros coming from the spacecraft. So this is a really exciting time, and it's just important to remind people there's a lot that can go wrong in a day like today. There are thousands of things that have to go right.
Yeah, we had success in the
Gonna
past
knock on wood
landing
3
Mars.
times.
You'd think it gets easier, but it really doesn't. Why is it still so difficult?
Well, it's because
and there's
involves
no margin
thousands
for
and
error.
thousands of things, hundreds of thousands of lines of code.
Yeah.
There's 79 pyrotechnic devices. Each have to work perfectly.
Yeah.
One critical wire short, or one key thing mechanism that doesn't work or breaks, and it's mission over.
Right.
And so it's
It's really
so-
stressful.
and it's very
Okay.
easy. We're human beings. We're not perfect. Mistakes can be made. We count on each other to find our own mistakes, and we.
She's like, why is it so
work
dangerous?
very hard
Well,
to,
buddy,
to learn from
ma'am,
mistakes of the past.
fun fact,
We've had many
condition
failures.
you
half-
might
many
have
people,
can cause
roughly half, around half of the missions
can
to
cause
Mars over
stretch
history have
fragile
failed.
skin.
And so it's
right,
that
tough
could happen
skin.
today too.
We do
Even though we've
have
had a nice, wonderful string of successes
more on the
in
checklist.
the United States, it's still still a bit of a gamble. A gamble that we have hoped that we have erred in the side of luck, and we've stacked the deck and loaded the dice to make this thing succeed. But if we do fail, and something bad happens today, I can tell you, we're
I
going
just
to
love
learn it.
the
We'll have
picture.
the
I
data
don't love the
tell us
skin
what
thing.
happened.
Sorry,
We'll
I love
know
the
why.
picture.
We'll
I just
figure it out. and if we are allowed, we will pick ourselves up and get us back on the horse. And if Congress and NASA allow, we will try again. As we always do, we will learn from our mistakes.
And what are the possible scenarios we could be looking at today?
Well, there's things like
34 is
one of the
repeat
key
rule 12.
stressful elements for all of us is parachute inflation.
Yeah.
But just even separating from the cruise stage is a pretty major event. Lots of devices have to work properly. Certainly, the heat shield separation, getting the descent engine started. There's no less than 16 rocket motors that have to work, 8 to control during entry, another 8 to control it during landing. I said it's a lot of stuff, and it all has to work. And guess
Perfectly.
what? We haven't done this before with this vehicle ever. This is its first attempt to actually land. We can't try this on Earth. We can't do. We don't
Not a
have
sentence
test
you
flights
think
to try it out
you're
on
ever
this
going to
planet
see.
before the big show.
Faulty collagen.
So this vehicle's doing it for
Well,
the first time.
hopefully-
We've done the best testing we can do in bits and pieces, but you know, it's as best as we
Hopefully
can
there's.
do.
I mean, I am
but I
unfamiliar
think
with
our
that, so
team is up
I'm
to
like,
it.
I'm hoping there's something they can do.
This team is the best. It's a diverse,
Raven, what'd you do?
intelligent, amazing group of people. People from all over the world who worked on this, not just here in California.
I like
but
that you
all over
followed that up with a
NASA,
great big grin.
contributors from
What'd you do,
aerospace,
Raven?
Universities, countries around the world. It is just
Look
an
at that.
incredible, remarkable
This
engineering
is
achievement.
fine.
And I am just so proud of this team.
And the
Thanks, Rob. Now
the
let's
thing
listen
of
back into mission control.
Clorox wipes in the back there.
Flight, you're about 14 minutes from
I love that I can see
entry
Clorox
interface.
wipes everywhere.
The vehicle is currently preparing
crazy.
the heat rejection system that has kept the thermal system cool inside the air shell for about the last 6 months. This will allow the spacecraft to more easily cut the line in upcoming cruise stage separation, which is
Oh,
under 4
Raven.
minutes.
Oh, no.
We have now enabled the rover pyro bus.
That's the pyrotechnic system that's
We're
going to
powering off the cruise stage devices.
and these are the things in the cruise stage that we no longer need. With the pyrotechnic system working, we can explode the devices
The
necessary
vehicle
to
is
separate.
preparing for the upcoming cruise stage separation in about
I
3
did
minutes and
not.
15 seconds by powering off all the
I would
devices
totally
on the
not
cruise
do
stage
something
in
like
order
that.
they
But I
can
had
stay
to.
put once the cruise stage
21
is
divided by
jettisoned.
3 is 7. Good number. Do you want me to delete it? I can
This is,
delete it.
This cruise stage has been very reliable.
We are firing our first pyros to vent the HRS liquid and gas.
This has been the coolant that's kept their vehicle from getting too hot on the way to Mars.
I don't like how 42 divides by
We have to vent it
3.
into space.
I like how 21 divides by 3.
And this is one of the first major events that take place as part of entry, descent, landing.
The HRS vent anchor is complete. We will see the next anchor in approximately
Did anybody
3
else see that the closed captioning said uterus?
Okay.
That's not
We're
what they
currently
said,
12
but
and a
that's
half
what it
minutes
thought they
from
said.
Entry interface. We are coming upon cruise stage separation in 2 minutes and 20
No need
seconds.
to delete.
What's happening now, Rob?
Okay, well, we're just waiting. The rover is completely in charge. It's doing all the things we've taught it how to do. It's all
Yep.
built into the software. We've tested it over and over and over again. This team has spent 24 hours a day,
We're just
7
waiting to
days
hear
a
back
week
from her.
testing this
Oh,
thing
God. This
for
is so
years.
nerve-wracking.
And so this is really the culmination of all that work. So this vehicle is getting ready to push that cruise stage away.
Yep.
Once it gets pushed away, the entry system with the rover inside, with the rover still in charge, is going to get ready to take the vehicle,
This is stress
turn it to
knitting.
the right orientation, and aim it to Mars, and
Go for
prepare
it.
for entering the atmosphere.
Oh, man.
This won't be long. Be prepared for this event.
We're
Taking
about a minute and
Altitude
a half
control.
from cruise stage separation, about 11 minutes 20 seconds from entry interface.
Okay.
Okay, so it's about 10 minutes from cruise stage separation till entering the top of the atmosphere. From then on and out, things happen
We are switching
fast.
to MFSK tones. Telemetry will have stopped.
Telecom is confirming that the spacecraft has switched to broadcasting tones.
She's
These
singing.
tones are received directly from Perseverance, but have very limited information content. We won't receive real-time information until about 9-10 minutes from now, once the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter starts relaying information from Perseverance. We are under a minute from cruise stage separation, about 10.5 minutes from entry interface.
I think it would be cool
getting
if they shared the
exciting. I have
tones,
to
you know,
admit,
if
I
they
am
let people
quite anxious.
hear the tones she's
But
sending.
very hopeful that this machine is going to do what we asked it
We are
to
seeing
do.
the heartbeat tones.
Okay, that means that there's no more ones and zeros coming. It's just the vehicle telling us it's still alive.
We're continuing to receive tones from Perseverance, standing by for cruise stage separation.
So this is their the simulation that they've got going. I kind of wish I could turn it, but this option, it's not an option on this. This screen that they're showing. There we go.
We have indication that cruise stage separation has been confirmed by the spacecraft.
Good, good, good.
We're off on a good start.
In about 1 minute, Perseverance's landing software will wake up and begin the final preparations for entry. The first action it will do is to fire warm-up pulses with its entry thrusters. These pulses ensure that the spacecraft gets the thrust that it wants during entry interface. We're about 9 minutes from entry interface.
Less than 10 minutes. I like how they're specific. They don't say like
so now the
we're
vehicle's
about
on its
10
own.
minutes. They're like we're
It's turning itself
you know.
into the direction of facing the heat shield toward Mars, and
There's no rounding up
we'll
here.
eventually hitting the top of the atmosphere. We're not far away. This is going to go very quickly from here on out.
Who's ready? Who's excited?
I have confirmation that we got shadowed by the cruise stage as it passed through our beam to the Earth.
Telecom indicated actually that we could see a signal that the cruise stage went between the Perseverance entry capsule and Earth. So we saw a little blip, data stream indicating the cruise stage separation.
Whee!
We have confirmation that the vehicle has started warming up those entry thrusters.
Oh, there's the timer.
Warm-up pulses have begun.
Dang. Oh boy. I like it. It's got a little UFO on the timer. I think that's cute. In the
At this point,
lower right-hand
the
corner.
spacecraft is trying to stop its spin
Ooh.
from the cruise 2 revolutions per minute down to
Ooh,
0.
Nat. Ow.
And then will turn to its desired orientation from entry. It will separate the 2 balance masses that have kept it balanced during all of cruise. This will allow the entry capsule to have lift.
No, it's a UFO,
when
Raven.
It enters the atmosphere. We have confirmation that
No,
the
it's
spacecraft
UFO.
has turned to the desired
I see what you
entry
mean now, though.
attitude.
Yeah, you're right. It is a pod.
We're about
It
7.5
looked like a
minutes from
UFO.
entry interface.
Ugh. If you had not said that, I would
Okay,
not.
the
I
vehicle
would
is
have seen a
pointed in the right
UFO.
direction. Thrusters are warmed up and doing their job. And now
don't have
we've
space on the
spun
brain.
down from the 2 revolutions per minute that the vehicle had the whole way to Mars. It was a spin-stabilized spacecraft. And then from here on out, it's going to
forgot
just
about
be
that.
a bullet.
A
and it's gonna
spin-stabilized
control its
spacecraft.
orientation and attitude via rockets on the back of that
Our
back shell.
points carrier log. Sorry,
I'm gonna trim this fuzz.
The DTE from
back of this
Radio
project.
Science from Greenbank reports carrier log. Do you see the carrier on the downlink?
Ow! I just stabbed myself with my scissors. And it hurt, but I'm not
Flight
bleeding,
number
so we're
1.
okay.
We are continuing to wait for entry interface. We're about
That
6
hurt.
minutes and 45 seconds from entry interface. We have confirmation from Greenback
Oh,
that they are
Nat.
receiving direct-to-Earth telemetry via that
I am so sorry.
path. The spacecraft Perseverance is currently transmitting heartbeat tones. These tones indicate that Perseverance is operating normally and has nothing significant to report.
She's like,
This is as
everything's
expected.
normal.
We're currently just over 6 minutes from entry interface.
These tones are Perseverance saying, really, NASA, quit side seat driving. Come on.
Okay. And now we wait.
Ah, I'm so impatient. The waiting is the
As
worst
soon as we
part.
get to the top of the atmosphere, it'll be very quickly, which is the entry point. It won't be very long before the atmosphere will start getting thicker and thicker. It's going very quickly at a fairly steep angle of 15 degrees into the atmosphere, and as it starts to slow
We're
down.
just under, we're about 5.5 minutes from entry interface. We're still receiving heartbeat tones. We expect to continue receiving heartbeat tones until about 5 minutes after entry. At that time, Perseverance will be no longer in view of our antennas here on Earth. About 90 seconds prior to entry, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should begin receiving telemetry from Perseverance and streaming it to Earth in near real time. There are a few expected short outages, such as when we have a plasma blackout or when we enter the peak heating phase. Aside from these outages caused by the plasma blackout, antenna switching, or high dynamic events, spacecraft events, we should have telemetry until about 90 seconds after landing.
I like how he stopped when she starts talking. He stops talking.
When the
He's like, "This is more important than what I've got to say."
Through the
You want to go to
superfast
Mars?
air
Make sure you bring some
blowing around
potatoes.
the spacecraft all the way down to Earth. Once the temperature drops below that peak heating, we do reacquire the signal from Perseverance. We are currently about 4.5 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance continues to report heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
Okay, what we're looking for now is Mars
Yikes.
Reconnaissance Orbiter should be in view.
See, the thing is
of our
too, is
vehicle and be
I mean,
able
as
to
you've
listen
said,
to
you've
ones
been
and
in
zeros
consistent
coming from a
pain for
separate
so
radio
long.
That's really designed to talk between
you can't
spacecraft.
catch up with pain
Camera
relief. You
report,
have to
the
be
electric
on
radio
top
is
of
powered
it.
on, ready to receive signals from the lander.
Okay.
In my experience,
MRO is
and
ready
from working at the hospital,
and waiting for
like, you have to be on
hear
top
from
of
our
it. You
rover.
can't
Mars
try to
Reconnaissance
catch up.
Orbiter has reported that
I'm
it's
so sorry,
ready
Nat.
to receive the signals from Perseverance.
Yeah,
It
that's
should
true
be
too,
in
Raven.
A few minutes here. We're just
Flight
over 4
Local 1.
minutes from entry interface.
We don't need these 1 to 0s, as Swati said, but to land safely. But we really need it for our own health and well-being today, to keep our nerves in control. But
Around this time, a second
The
spacecraft,
closed
Maven,
caption's really
should
interesting.
begin
It just
picking
said
up telemetry from
cirrhosis.
Perseverance, and will continue to record that
So we've got
telemetry
uterus
until
and
several minutes
cirrhosis are the two weird
post-landing.
ones I've noticed.
We won't get that data for several hours after landing, as it's being recorded and then will be forwarded to Earth later. We are continuing to receive heartbeat tones, indicating that everything is nominal. We're currently at about 3 minutes until entry interface.
I love the way she speaks.
Okay.
She's got a great way of communicating. I know I said it before, and I'm saying it again.
very soon we'll be
I
getting
love
1s and
the
zeros, I hope, from our radio on the
barrettes
rover.
in that woman's hair. Oh, he's... Do you hear him breathing? He's nervous.
The entry interface is nothing more than just an arbitrary place in the sky that we've defined to be above the atmosphere. But from that
He's
point
like,
on, there's definitely
catch my breath. What's going on?
atmosphere, and above it there isn't.
We are 2 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance is to transmit heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
So the tones can tell us whether something's bad or not is happening. So far the heartbeat is doing well. So the vehicle thinks it's in good shape to land, which is a great sign.
Look at him peeking over their desks. Beep. Consistently rationed meds, can't afford prescription, don't qualify for help.
We're just under 2 minutes from entry interface. As it gets closer to Mars, Perseverance is actually being
That's a
pulled
shitty
in by
situation to
gravity
be
and
in,
accelerating.
friend.
By the time Perseverance reaches entry interface point, she should be going just under 5.4 kilometers per second. We're at about 90 seconds from entry interface and standing by for Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to pick up the telemetry.
I'm curious about how much of this scarf I'm
We
going
are
or
1 minute
towel I'm gonna have
from
done
entry interface.
at the end of this. It probably doesn't look like I'm going very
MROs
fast,
are in receive mode.
but I'm kind of in a groove here.
We have confirmation
knitting
that
wise.
the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter is now relaying data from Perseverance. We're about 30 seconds from entry interface. Perseverance is going about 5.2 kilometers per second and is about 190
Sorry, I
kilometers
should not whistle.
altitude above the surface of Mars.
Confirm your jet data flow.
about seconds from entry interface. 5.3 kilometers per second and an altitude of about 150 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
Click and drag. Click and drag. Oh, there's our target. Not gonna quote Star Wars, but I really want to say stay on target.
We have confirmation of entry interface. Perseverance is currently going 5.3 kilometers per second at an altitude of about 120 kilometers from the surface of Mars. The spacecraft is now waiting until it begins feeling the atmosphere of Mars slow it down. Once there is enough atmosphere, it will start controlling its path to the landing target.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Navigation is also confirming that we can see a little bit of that slowdown of the atmosphere on the Perseverance entry capsule. Our current velocity is about 5.36 kilometers per second and an altitude of about 67 kilometers from the surface.
We are probably seeing MRO plasma blackout at this point.
The vehicle should be doing its turns right now.
MRO has lost log.
Perseverance. We have indications that Perseverance is now performing bank reversals in the atmosphere. These are the steps in order to control its distance to the landing target. Perseverance has just passed through the point of maximum
You can't
deceleration
cope with the smell of
and
laundry
has
cleaner.
indicated
Yep,
that
we're
it felt
going to be changing the
approximately
detergent, the
10
laundry detergent, because it gives me a
Earth Gs
headache.
deceleration.
I have to air out my
Camera is
clothes
locked
before I
again.
can wear them. Because I can't wear them straight from the, like,
We saw a small outage
wash.
Of the UHF telemetry from Mars
The
Reconnaissance
detergent
Orbiter
is too
during that
scented.
peak heating
Yep.
phase, likely caused
I hear you
by
there.
the plasma blackout. Perseverance is still continuing to perform bank reversals in the atmosphere to control its distance to the landing target.
Oh, I thought I heard clapping. Oh boy. Oh boy. They stressed me out there. I was like, why are we clapping?
Perseverance is going about 1 kilometers per second at an altitude of about 16 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have entered heading alignment, which means Perseverance is no longer trying to control the distance to Mars, but to the target on Mars, but instead is flying straight to the target.
Way to go. Way to go, Perseverance. You stay on target. You stay on target.
Parachute.
Our current velocity is about 550 meters per second at an altitude of about 15 kilometers from the surface.
Nope, someone's taking pictures.
MRO's reporting good telemetry log.
We are coming upon the straighten up. We are starting the straighten up and fly right maneuver, where the spacecraft will jettison the entry balance masses in preparation for parachute deploy and to roll over to give the radar a better look at the ground. The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed and we are seeing significant deceleration.
Look at how excited they are!
In the velocity. Our current velocity is 440 meters per second at an altitude of about 12 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
Yay!
Perseverance is now slowed to subsonic speeds and the heat shield has been separated. This allows both the radar and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. Current velocity is 145 meters per second at an altitude of about 9.5 kilometers above the surface.
She's zippy. She's very zippy.
Yes.
Perseverance
He's very
now
happy.
has radar lock on the ground. Current velocity is about 100 meters per second.
Look at their live streaming their
kilometers
families. I love space people.
Perseverance is continuing to descend on the parachute. We are coming up on the initialization of terrain relative navigation and subsequently the priming of the landing engines. Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers.
Oh, come on, come on.
We have confirmation that the lander vision system has produced a valid solution in part of terrain relative navigation.
So cool! That is so cool!
We have priming of the landing engines. Current velocity is 83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have confirmation that the back shell has separated. We are currently performing the divert maneuver. Current velocity is about 75 meters per second at an altitude of about a kilometer off the surface of Mars.
I'm really glad I'm knitting right now
Safety
because
Bravo.
I'm stressed. This is
We
really
have
stressful.
Completed our terrain relative navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars. We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane.
The sky crane's
crane maneuver.
really very interesting.
We've lost direct to Earth tones.
As expected.
Okay.
As expected.
Sky crane maneuver has started. About 20 meters off the surface.
We're getting signals from MRO.
UHF is good.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance.
She's on the ground!
On the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
Yay! Oh, that was really stressful. That's really stressful. Okay.
At this point, the descent stage has flown away to a safe distance. Perseverance is continuing to transmit direct
Yes!
Mars orbiter to Earth.
Yes! Yes, we did. We landed. Look at him. Oh, so happy. That's so exciting.
MRO reports they're still getting telemetry from the lander.
Cool. Whew, okay.
All stations.
Y'all eat your peanuts.
Touchdown confirmed. We're gonna wait for the images.
They can open their
This is so
crack open
exciting.
their peanut packages.
The team is beside themselves.
Little
It's-
snack packs.
It's so surreal. Stay tuned. We might get some pictures.
We might get pictures. Good God, that's loud. Yes, indeed. Hype it up. Oh, Perseverance is like, went to Mars and all I got was this, picture for you.
Yeah, we just heard the news that Perseverance is alive on the surface of Mars.
Yay!
It's not Flight, we have seen the completion of EDL 3000. Copy activity. That is as expected.
So exciting.
MRO is still seeing a strong signal from the lander.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Timing is everything.
We have just
Oh,
heard the
thank you
news
so
that
much for the work,
Perseverance is
Raven.
alive on the
Thank
surface
you.
of
Thank you for
Mars.
hanging out with us while
Congratulations to the
Perseverance
mission.
landed. I'm
And
so excited.
Looks like we have some more news in. It looks like we're getting the first image.
Ah, she's sending us pictures.
Here, take a look at the first image.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh.
OL3, I have the target point on the map when you are ready. We are ready, OL3. Go for it.
We'll take it, he says. We'll take it. Oh, man.
Flight, I'll be moving in, showing you the safe zone that we've landed in.
That is so cool.
Has just put the first image from Perseverance on the surface of Mars. Now it comes from the engineering cameras, known as the Hazard camera. This camera is mainly used to help the rover drive safely around Mars, and we will get higher resolution photos later in the day.
Gosh. I'll probably be retweeting those, just FYI. Oh, man.
This is amazing.
Good for them. I'm so happy for this team. Good for them. Look at 'em. Look at how, like, relaxed they are all of a sudden. Like, their shoulders aren't, like, up around their ears. It wasn't quite that bad, but, you know. They can breathe now. Oh, good for them.
You did. You led the team. You made it happen. Congratulations.
They're so happy. That makes me so happy. Look, there's more pictures. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. You need a third. Thank you for those. Thank you for that 100 bits for the Prompto fanfare. Yes.
Second image is in.
That's very appropriate. Look at
These we have a camera in the front and rear of the spacecraft. They're near the ground, so these are pretty close. So you can see the wheels there.
Yep.
And they're a little.
That's
dirty
Mars,
because
y'all.
You've got glass covers over these cameras, but we took these seconds after landing, so there's still dust in the air from our landing event.
Wow.
So this is happening. This happened just.
Sorry,
seconds
that
ago.
snuck up on
Just
me.
arrived.
Wow.
And this is really amazing.
Mars is really cool.
And we even know where we landed. This is the most amazing thing. The vehicle
They
has
know where
told
they
us
are.
where it's landed because it figured it out. You know, this is a sign. NASA works. NASA works. And when we put our arms together and our hands together and our brains together, we can succeed. This is what NASA does. This is what we can do as a country. On all of the problems we have, we need to work together to do these kinds of things and make success happen.
I agree with him. Everyone remember where we parked? Yep. It's the wrong color. Yeah, isn't it supposed to be red? Isn't Mars supposed to be red? Why is it gray? I think they're lying and they landed on the moon.
Acting Administrator of NASA, Steve Jurasik. Steve, welcome and congratulations.
That's the third flub
Hey,
from
thank you. What
closed
an
captioning.
amazing
They
day.
said Jurassic.
And how does it feel to have another rover
Unless his name
on
is spelled
Mars?
like that. That would be very interesting.
It's amazing.
No, it is not. I didn't
have
think it was.
Perseverance joined Curiosity on Mars, and what a just a credit to the team. I mean, just what an
So
amazing
cool.
team. To work through all the adversity.
Curiosity's not
that
the-
goes-
not the
and all
baby of the
challenges
family
that go with
anymore.
landing a rover on Mars, plus the challenges of COVID, and just an amazing accomplishment.
And
I don't have
what
tears
does
in my
this mean for NASA and its future
I'm
plans?
just, this is good. This is
So
good.
for robotic exploration, every time we execute a mission with new instruments, we discover new things and things we never thought we would discover. So that always informs our future robotic missions, both landers, rovers, and orbiters. This mission also has technology on it, one of the cool things is the Ingenuity helicopter.
Yep.
It's an experiment on this mission.
This is gonna be so
but
cool
if it's
to find out
successful,
what-
we can
what
use
that
it
little
as an observation
drone
science
helicopter
observation
thing
platform by putting instruments on it,
does.
and also use it as a scout for future rover missions, and then just the entry, descent, and landing capability. It'll allow us to land more larger, more ambitious robots on the surface of Mars, and then for human exploration. We have the MEDLI, Mars Entry, Descent, and Landing Instrumentation, which is going to give us EDL information. We have the Mars Environmental Dynamics Analyzer. It's going to give us properties, size and properties of dust particles, because when we send people, we're going to have to deal with that dust.
Yes, that's going to be a big deal.
This is just an incredible mission
That's
because
so
of the
exciting.
science and the technology, and then caching samples.
Like,
for
I
a
remember
Mars
when I
sample
was
return
little,
mission.
they
That
were
will
like,
be
we're going to go to
an amazing
Mars.
mission,
You know,
the
like that was
first
the big
round
thing. We were
trip
going to have a manned
to
mission to
and
Mars.
back, and
I would
bring the
love
samples
a manned
cached by
mission to Mars in my
Perseverance back to
lifetime,
Earth to
please.
examine with state-of-the-art equipment in our laboratories here on Earth.
You know,
we have so
that would
much
be
to look
nice.
forward to. And we also have a student question coming in from Landon. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Landon Applegate. I'm in 6th grade and I'm going to Academy for Academic Excellence. And my question is, do you think we could get resources from Mars to help on future missions or even as like a launching point?
Great question, Landon. Actually, we have an experiment called the Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment, or MOXIE, and it's going to demonstrate generating oxygen from atmospheric CO2, and that could help generate breathable oxygen and even
Wait a
if we can
minute.
liquefy it,
Isn't that like
oxidizer
what they
for
were
propulsion
what they
systems.
said?
So that's
Isn't
a tech
that like
demo
from-
on Perseverance.
Was that what they
and
talked
then
about in the
we're going
Martian
to continue
book?
to characterize the frozen
Andy
water
Weir?
on and below
Something
the
similar?
surface of Mars.
Wait a minute.
And eventually try to figure out how
It's
to
been a minute
extract
since I read
water
that
from
book.
the
I'm going to
Martian
probably be
soil, or what we
rereading
call
it.
regolith. And then we can use that for potable water.
Yeah.
And also break it down into oxygen and hydrogen for rocket fuel. So
for rocket fuel.
absolutely, we're
Isn't
gonna
that
try
in The
to
Martian?
Eventually figure out how to live off the land to support human missions to Mars.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, Steve.
I remember
you.
being told
And
that book
now
was fairly
that
scientifically
Perseverance
sound.
has safely touched down on Mars. Let's learn more about what's in store for the rover.
Supposed to land
Joining
something,
us
let us
now
hear
is
Mars.
Surface Mission
Yeah.
Manager Jessica Samuels.
Mars is a fickle,
Jessica, your surface operations
planet.
team has now taken over. What are they doing now?
Yes. Hi, Raquel. We are so excited here in the Surface Mission Support area. The team will do a handover with the Entry, Descent, and Landing team and pass any critical information. And then this team behind us will be the team that does the health and safety assessments daily as we progress on this mission.
And what do the upcoming weeks look like for your team?
So as we enter Mars time now,
Mars
the
time.
commanding team will be working overnight while the rover is asleep so that we can perform the initial checkouts of our key rover functions and our science instruments. And we have to do this all in time for the regularly scheduled communication pass, which happens in the morning. And so we will be working around the clock, making sure that Perseverance is healthy, and we will begin this exciting adventure.
And can you tell me, what's it like living on Mars time?
It's a little bit like constantly, flying and changing your time zone. The rover, on Earth, the rover wakes up at the same time
You
every
have 3
day,
streams.
but on
I
Earth,
only have
that's
2
40
streams
minutes
open.
later. So the team is going to be shifting our work schedule by 40 minutes as we come into work over the next few weeks. So it'll be exciting and some late nights.
There we go.
But we're also excited and we can't wait.
It's a whole new lifestyle.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
also have a student question for you. This is Sophia's video.
Hi, my name is Sofia Lopez, and my question for NASA is, how's Perseverance gonna survive? And here's a drawing that I made from Perseverance thinking about Earth.
Oh, it's
thank you.
So happy and sad at the same time.
Sophia,
Perseverance thinking about
survives,
Earth.
with a power source that charges its batteries.
Chris,
overnight while
only
it
two.
sleeps, and it keeps heaters on so that all of our critical electronics can stay warm, as well as our
I don't see
mechanism.
Huntress.
But it's
Let
really
me go to her channel.
survived by the team.
It said to us she was live, but I
performs
had it
the
pulled
health
up over here,
safety
and
assessments every day.
there it is.
And communicates
Okay,
with
Twitch
the
didn't want to
rover,
upgrade.
and make sure that
update.
she's doing okay.
Words are hard.
Well, thanks for your
Here we
time,
go.
Jessica, and good luck living on
Give
Mars
Huntress the
time.
older healer, too.
Should be fun.
Let's head back to Marina as she gives us a sneak peek into the future at JPL.
All right, we are now on
Thanks
row
so much,
36,
Raquel.
which means I'm
It's
going to repeat
definitely
a row
bustling
10.
behind me. It's not quiet like it was just 20 minutes ago.
You've got
And
4.
congrats to the whole team. What an amazing accomplishment.
You guys
Mike
are
Watkins
wonderful.
Is the director of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. He was the mission manager during the Curiosity rover landing on Mars. Welcome, Mike.
Oh, thanks. Glad to be here.
I might make it easy for you. We might.
Well, you were just celebrating, and rightly so.
Once
Now, you've been
Perseverance,
around
all
for a
the
number of
Perseverance stuff
Mars
has settled down,
landings.
I'll
What makes this one special?
Well, you know,
probably
two things. I mean, it's the
taking a
biggest
break
and best rover
until
we've
later
ever
in the
sent to Mars.
evening.
And it can really, you know, do amazing things in terms of, you know,
But
its own
this is
scientific
exciting. I
exploration
wanted
of
to
this
share with you guys.
habitable environment, you know, at Jezero. But you know, it's also
rovers.
as you've heard today, you know, it's the first step in Mars sample return.
Mhm.
So really, you know, it's not only doing its own mission, it's setting us up for a series of missions and to bring those samples back. And you know, a lot of the effort to develop the rover was specifically designed, you know, for that sampling and caching system. It's one of the most complex robotic
There's a
systems
few
ever
more you
made.
should have open, but your computer
you know,
can't
having it
handle
down
it.
safely
Oh my
means Mars
goodness.
sample
No,
return
we-
continues right on course, and we are moving forward.
I can guarantee that people are
Wonderful.
just
Now,
grateful
JPL has
to
a
have
long
you
history with
come and hang out
robotic
with them.
space
Because I know I'm
exploration.
grateful to
Why
have you
do
come and
think
hang
it's
out.
so important to continue to push those boundaries?
You know, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, obviously, you know, for
people
places
like
that
you
are
that
far
make
away, like
what
Mars,
we
and
do
even farther away,
so
you know,
worth
like
it.
Europa.
You know?
Right now, robotic
you guys
exploration
pop
is the
in and
only
you're
way
just
we can
awesome.
make these scientific discoveries and really understand these early
Or you
habitable
lurk and you're
environments.
just
In the
awesome.
case of Europa, maybe
Lurking
it's even
sometimes
still
awesome too.
habitable. And you know, we're not ready to go there
Way
with
too many
astronauts
people.
yet, but the robots are ready to
Mm.
go there. And so we always, you
Yeah, I
know,
haven't
are forerunners
looked
and
at the,
pathfinders of human exploration. And we start by sending,
I'm curious
you know,
now. Let
our
me,
eyes and
pass this
arms
stitch
there in the form
over.
of a robot.
There we go.
And it is just fantastic to be able to do that and to learn from each rover, learn from the science and the engineering, and make the next one better and make more and more discoveries. And every time we do one of these missions, we make fabulous discoveries. And you know, each one is more exciting
Sound keeps
than the
cutting
last.
out in a round.
Future does look
Raven, then me, then
exciting. Now, as
Megan, and
director
Raven,
of
and me, and Megan.
JPL, what would you like
Oh,
to say
goodness.
to those teams right now celebrating?
Oh, you know, obviously they have earned it. Let me tell you. I mean, they have worked, you know, for years and years on this mission, and then in the past year, of course, we had the COVID experience, and you know, I want to thank not only the team but also, you know, all of JPL. Of course, we had you know, a lot of folks had to pitch in here, you know, in terms of making sure our remote telework, you know, our IT systems were good enough to support folks working from home. You know, all of the folks looking at PPE and our safe distancing and reconfiguring facilities to make them safe for the employees. It's just an incredible amount of work by the entire lab, and of course, especially by this team.
I can't seem to
and
click on what
you
I
know,
wanna
and
click
in
on.
one sense, you know, the 7 minutes of terror
That's
are
okay.
very
I'll fight with
exciting.
it later.
But on the other hand, you know, the mission's just
Put my
started,
pattern
right?
back up.
We built the mission, you know, not to land, but actually to drive
They dropped
and get the samples and do other
that's
technology
that's such a
you know,
crazy
demonstrations.
number, though.
And so, you know, for
Just to
much of
think
the
about.
team, you know, this part of the mission's over, but for most of the team, the mission's really just starting. And
just
so,
starting,
you know,
yeah.
I think they're very excited, but you know, everybody I think can take a deep breath and a sigh of relief now that we are safely down on the surface.
Yahoo!
Yes, that collective sigh of relief, and I hear a lot of excitement and celebration behind me as well. So thanks so much for joining me, Mike.
It's my pleasure, and thanks to everyone for joining us too.
Congrats again to the Mars 2020 Perseverance team for a successful landing. Back to you, Raquel.
Now, there will be a flight test coming up for the Ingenuity Mars helicopter. And if this technology experiment is successful,
Fingers
it
crossed.
will mark the first time we have taken a power-controlled flight on another planet.
Oh boy.
Sometimes
Oh
you have
boy.
to do something just to show that you can do it. When the Wright brothers flew for the first time, they flew an experimental aircraft. And in the same way, the Mars helicopter is designed to show that we can fly powered helicopter flight in the Martian atmosphere.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
From day one, this was the unwavering dream of our team, to get our helicopter launched to Mars so that we can get that opportunity to do that very first rotorcraft flight test in the actual environment.
No, Nat, no, if you have to hop into Megan's stream, you go hop into Megan's stream.
At Mars because atmospheres
If you want to catch up, that's perfectly okay. Do not feel bad. Do not feel bad at all.
The first and foremost challenge is to make a vehicle that's light enough to be lifted. And then the second is to generate lift. The rotor system has just been very fast. 2,000, 2,200, 2,400, 2,600. We're spinning between 2,000 and 3,000 revolutions per minute, and it takes a lot of energy. So it's that balance of a very light system, yet having enough energy that's
To get
needed
what
to,
you need to do.
spin the rotor so fast to lift, and on top of it, having to design in the autonomy.
It has to be fully autonomous from the time it takes off to the time it lands. What we do on the ground is we plan the flights, and so we determine from here where we want the helicopter to go.
Our experiment window is 30 Martian days. So we have planned up to 5 flights of incremental difficulty.
The very first flight, the main thing is we want to get the legs off the ground, and so we will basically go up
And
about
go back
3
down.
meters, and we'll hover there, and then we'll come down again. And that will be the first, really major milestone.
Most of our flights will be at the 3 to 5 meter height. We will be going horizontally again at a few meters per second, probably go out, 50, 70 meters and come back. In successive flights, we'll probably push that further, try to go further. So our priority will be to get back engineering telemetry and not so much images, but I'm sure we'll return a few, because they'll always look cool.
At this point, we've
Because
tested
it'll look
all
cool.
we can on Earth. We have mathematical models that shows how it will fly at Mars, and we've tested it in the simulated environment that we can create on Earth. It really is time now to do the real flight test at Mars.
Nothing is a given, but we have done everything we can in terms of
Like,
a test
you get to a
program
certain
here,
point,
and
then
the
you
vehicle's
all you can do is
performing
test it
extremely
in a
well
real
so
life
far. It's
situation.
doing exactly the right thing, even right now when it's bolted onto the Perseverance rover. So there's a very good chance that we'll pull it off, yes. But it's still high risk, and none of us forget that you could have a glitch that, could mean end of mission, yes.
It's going to
That'll
be exciting, reacting to any surprises we have. We can't wait.
I mean, you can
What's
see
really
just
most
how
important is
excited and
everything
passionate
we're
these
learning
people
here
are.
is for the future rotorcraft systems that we want to introduce into space exploration.
That's just awesome. That's just awesome.
Mimi Ong is the project manager for Ingenuity. She joins us now as they await a chance to check out their helicopter in the coming days. Welcome, Mimi.
Thank you, Marina.
Oh my goodness, we've been talking about this for months, Mimi. Did you ever think you'd be here at this point? I mean, what's going on in your head right now?
Yeah, really, what's going on in your
This is super
head?
exciting. We have been working on Mars helicopter for over 6 years, testing and carefully designing it for operation at Mars. So what's going through my mind? Ingenuity Mars helicopter is finally at the destination that it is designed for.
It's on the ground. Yep. Now you got to get it
Now
off the
that
ground.
Ingenuity is on Mars, what is the timeline you hope to accomplish as you move forward?
We have a series of major milestones between now and Ingenuity's first flight. So tomorrow we'll turn on the helicopter and its base station to confirm health after experiencing the dynamics through the EDL just now. And the next major milestone will be when the rover
exciting.
deploys the helicopter to the surface. And that marks the first moment that Ingenuity operates on its own in a standalone manner. And surviving that first cold, frigid night of Mars will be a major milestone. We'll execute a series of checkouts, and then we will perform that very important first flight. And if the first flight is successful, we have up to 4 more flights in the 30 Martian days that we have set aside for our flight experiments.
And that's when you finally can breathe, right, Mimi? Now, why is it so important to have that aerial dimension to space exploration?
A helicopter flying far ahead of rovers and astronauts in the future can provide high definition reconnaissance information for the rovers and the astronauts before they take the long journeys.
Yep.
And as importantly, being able to fly will enable us to get to places that we cannot get to with rovers and astronauts.
Flying
like
on another
cliffs,
planet.
deep inside crevices,
It just
areas
boggles
of
the
high scientific
mind.
interest. It will be game-changing.
Not only will we have landed on
Game-changing
another
is right,
planet,
and
I mean
we've
multiple
talked
times,
about this a
we'll
lot.
be
You've
flying
mentioned
on
the
another
risk is
planet.
huge, Mimi,
That's
but the reward
crazy.
is high. What will be your greatest
So
reward?
cool.
You know, our team started with the question of whether a helicopter can fly at Mars,
Yep.
given the extremely thin environment.
Yeah.
And we systematically demonstrated a series of technical steps. We demonstrated lift first, and then we demonstrated lift and the first ever powered control rotorcraft flight in simulated Mars atmospheric density. And then we went on to build the full-up helicopter that can not only fly, but operate and survive autonomously at Mars,
On
all
Mars.
under 1.8 kilograms, about 4 pounds. And each of these major milestones have been a first. And the success at each of these has been so rewarding. And along the way, the rewards just kept coming. And I have to tell you, at this moment, it's going up exponentially. So after all these tests, analysis, simulations, and more tests on Earth, our team now gets a chance to test, prove, and learn how it works in the actual environment of Mars. Our team can't ask for a bigger reward than that.
Somebody needs to get them some champagne.
Oh, Mimi, I'm so happy
Just the fact
for
that they
you
got
and
it
your
there.
team. And now we're going to take a question from social
Like-
media on Instagram for you. At Not Vibhuti asks, is the helicopter going to be doing science?
I mean,
Well,
the
helicopter
yes.
ingenuity is a technology demonstration. And we are demonstrating the ability to fly and learning how to fly for the very first time. And so this is a technology demonstration and a pathfinder for future larger rotorcraft, future missions
So,
that
I
will
mean-
carry much larger instruments. So on this mission, we're not doing any science. We're concentrating
in and of itself
on
is science.
engineering, data, how
I like
the
how they're very
vehicle
specific
perform.
about it, though.
And as you saw, Bob
They're like, we're not
Belram,
doing
in the
experiments. This is what
video
we're doing.
before, we
But
will be taking
yes.
a few color first ever color pictures from the flying aerial vantage point, but they'll be icing on the cake. For this one, this is all about engineering data and how do we fly compared to all our tests we have done on Earth.
Mimi, so much for your team and the future generations of scientists and engineers to look forward to.
Yes, really.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Great
much
day.
for joining us, Mimi, and good luck to your team with that first test flight.
I would
Thank
say
you
they're
so
doing
much.
science. That's
Now
pretty
we look forward
pretty cool
to the Perseverance rover
advancements.
and Ingenuity helicopter beginning their journeys on Mars as
I mean, I'm
their
not a scientist,
adventures
so.
are just about to start. Go Perseverance and go Ingenuity. Back to you, Raquel.
Thanks, Marina. Landing on Mars is never easy, but this team has persevered, and NASA's
Ha, ha,
fifth
ha.
rover is on the red planet. You can still hear them buzzing in the back right now. And to get the latest updates on Perseverance as it explores Mars, follow at NASA Persevere on Facebook and Twitter.
And Twitter.
I'd like to thank
Yep.
everyone watching for joining us today. And to the students and teachers tuning in, we hope you learned a lot from today's landing, and thank you for all your questions. We have a news briefing coming up at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. That briefing will wrap up the day and include reactions from Perseverance team members. We'll leave you now with some of the landing celebration photos you've shared with us, set to Youngblood's cover of David Bowie's Life on Mars. I'm Raquel Villanueva. Thanks for watching.
Let's see here.
To the nav filter, giving
We'll
it
go over
a
here,
good
'cause-
attitude for EDL. Telemetry looked great
I'll
just
probably
before
get
it
trouble if you
idled,
listen to
and
that.
presumably ACS is now sitting in a new crater on Mars.
That's so cool.
And
Alright.
how much fuel did you leave?
So, how about that? How's that for a snowy Thursday afternoon? We landed on Mars. We've got a helicopter that we're going to be testing out. That's pretty dang cool. Alright. I am going to finish this round real fast. And see what we're going to do from there. Okay.
Copy. DMX.
How about that? Gosh, it's really exciting. It's really very exciting. It's nice to be able to breathe. Like I don't have any reason to be like nervous about it or on edge, but gosh darn was I. I mean, I love the rovers. I love them to pieces. I love following their exploits. It's just really, really very interesting. Yes, another historical event to live through. This is a good one to live through. Whenever we manage to colonize Mars, like have an actual colony, we're gonna need a Mars museum, a rover museum. You know, a Mars rover museum. We just gotta go get them all. We're going to need to fetch our rovers and put them in a museum because they deserve it. They've worked very hard. You know what I mean? Oh goodness. There we go.
Understood. They're probably done for the day, but I don't want to presume anything. I'll leave that up to surface flight to figure out. Copy that. Okay.
How about that? So I think what I'm gonna do, it is 3:30 my time. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this row as I mentioned, and then we're probably going to end the stream. I'll raid. Maybe I'll raid Megan because she'll be doing fiber arts as well, I believe. I forget all of a sudden what we're doing. I can't stitch to save my life. Is it cross stitch? Yes, and it's so cool. So we're gonna give Megan the old raidy raid. And yeah, exactly. And like I said, I'll probably be back on later this evening. Maybe play some games? I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. NASA. NASA. Oop.
At least I don't, indicating whether we swapped PAMs or not. But the RC spans and buses are
1 and 2. I can count stitches.
The all PAM states are expected in the avionics remote terminal.
Okay. So if anybody was interested, this is an Irish mesh cowl. It is knitting up really quickly. It's actually pretty easy once you figure out the slip stitches. I mean, you basically yarn over, slip a stitch, knit 2, and then pass that slip stitch over the 2 knit stitches and continue around. It's actually quite easy. Like I said, it's knitted up really fast. And it's a good stash buster because the pattern only calls for, let me see if I remember exactly how much. About 220 yards of yarn. 220 yards. It's kind of the guesstimate. I have a little bit more than 220 yards, so what I'm going to do is once I knit up, once I get through all of these little mini skeins, I'm going to then turn my leftovers of those into something. We shall see. We shall see if we are successful. Wait, which row am I on? I'm on row 36, which is to repeat row 10, which I just did. Okay, cool. Whoa, stitch marker down. Crap. Okay, I'll have to get that. It just fell under my desk. Darn. Pop this one on.
Okay. I always like to knit a couple stitches into my next round so I don't lose my stitch markers. So that's what I'm doing right here. I usually go in about 5 stitches. It's enough that I don't mess up my tension or anything weird. But let's go give Megan a raid. Shall we? Let's give Megan a raid. Thank you guys. I can hit buttons. We're gonna go here. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I guess I can put my camera back up because now I'm not knitting. Yeah, I say we, I had nothing to do with it. NASA landed a rover on Mars. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hot dog. So, we're gonna go through the whole process. We're gonna roll our credits because we had follows, we had subs, we had bits. Thank you guys. Thank you all. And then we're gonna raid Megan. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm not an announcer. I should not try to be an announcer. Here we go. Oh, Calliope, you're the only mod today. What's going on with Nightbot? Slack-a-lackin'. New follows from Joe, and Miss Messy got a gifted sub from Nat. Because Nat is awesome. Nat's just awesome like that, and I'm gonna have to get to work on those emotes. Alright, let's raid Megan of all trades. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Hello, Sly.